Greetings and salutations, guys. Welcome back to the ALEuminati.
At last.
Back at last. At last. So we are back and we have a sponsor.
Yes, we have a sponsor.
As you can see, I have no shame in shilling. This is 66 most important video games ever, according to me, by SL Perrin.
And here you go. This is currently not available in paperback yet.
You can buy it. You can buy it now. The link will be in the description. You can buy it now for £6 digitally.
Yep.
And from the 1st of June, you can buy it at £11 in hardback.
So
not hardback, paperback. Sorry, paperback version.
So,
£11 in 1st of June, that'll be available in paperback. Or you can get it now for £6 on Kindle and stuff.
so we don't always agree on things, but we're going to agree on this. So Steve, who's a fan of the show, he said these are the 66 most important games according to him, and we just both want to say
You're wrong.
Steve.
It's a fantastic read, an amazing book. I'm actually going to go on record, and if anyone who's read my site Stop Presents and stuff will know I reviewed Micro Brits before, and I absolutely love that book that he wrote. This is better than Micro Brits.
So,
but it's still wrong. There's some games in there that should be in there that are.
where's Sonic? Right.
This is not the video. This is not the video. See what you've done, Craig. Steve. Fuck.
We're going to do a fucking video on this book now. It's a fucking conspiracy, Steve.
This will be an ALEuminati episode. Why you chose these ones and it's a conspiracy.
And why 66?
Wow. Number of the beast, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
How many? 66? If you times that by the number of pages, square root by the dimensions of the book.
I'm telling you, you're part of the Black Eye Club. For seeing how the Black Eye, we know it. We stitched it up. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway, speaking of the Black Eye
Shameless
Club.
plug done. Crack on with the video.
Yeah.
Only joking. Brilliant, Steve.
Yeah. Cheers, Steve. Thanks a lot. Love you, man. But let's move on to the Black Eye Club, which is this week's episode.
Well,
can I just say, he accuses me of bringing the dodgy shit all the time. This is worse than what I've ever brought you.
no, it's not worse than Randy Kramer. No.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Nothing's worse than Randy Kramer. I know this talks about 6 to 8 inch wiggly worms that go in your eyes in this, but it's not a Randy Kramer shit.
Not very good, but as a topic, when you come in and I go Donald Trump a time travel or Saddam Hussein's style, you go, oh fuck off, what's this shit? This is up there with them.
In my defence, I knew nothing about this topic though. Right? I knew nothing about the Black Eye Club. I thought it sounded like a good topic. It's something we both stumbled across a few weeks ago on our own. Like never heard of either of us.
Neither of us have heard of it.
But do you know what? Because neither of us have heard of it, let's just give it a go. I had absolutely no idea it was this batshit crazy.
It fucking is.
And it's delighted me and appalled me in equal measure.
So, again, a little breakdown for those who don't know what the Black Eye Club is. Although not officially an organisation at all, surprise, the Black Eye Club refers to a growing number of politicians, celebrities, business elites and heads of state who are suddenly and mysteriously wound up with black eyes. Although few of them have sustained injuries to their right eye, the majority occur on the left eye. Among those who have succumbed to these afflictions are George Bush, Kanye West and various popes, among others. Now, the reason that got my attention straight away with this, the thing that you pointed out to me, was how many black eyes have you had since you were a kid?
I've had one, and that's because I was in a fight, and you had one because you were in a fight.
Yeah, when I was about 16, I think.
And I don't think I've known many. I know loads of people, and I do martial arts, and I see people get smacked all the time, and I don't see many, but there's a shitload of, oh no, sorry, I got the wrong word. There's a fuck ton. There's a fuck ton of celebrities, politicians, well-known individuals, loads of them who've all got this mysterious black eye. And before we start going, oh well, you know, Hollywood and things that are renowned for surgery, that would be both eyes, surely.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be one.
Yeah, you've had like rhinoplasty or something.
Yeah.
Both eyes break. I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm a black eye twice. One when I was 13 when we were in a fight at school, and one after I think about 22-ish, playing some league football someone elbowed me in the face, broke my nose, both eyes come up, but yeah, that's both eyes coming up.
Yeah,
No broken nose. I mean, I've had surgery on my thumbs through accidents and shit. Never had a black eye though.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just something you don't see adults getting.
not often. I mean, maybe some people on this video go, "Well, I live in the hood and we have all got black eyes."
I've got black eyes, yeah.
But from where, like, my standpoint,
But are those black eyes ritualistic?
it could be all Satanists.
Yeah, because that's what we're getting at here.
Well, shall we just name drop a few so people can go have a look? Shall we name drop a few? So,
Yeah.
do you want to start or shall I?
Mitt Romney, February 27th to 28th, 2021.
That's a quite recent one, yeah.
Senator Mitt Romney claims, I took a fall, not being conscious, but I'm doing better. On Monday, March 2021. Although he joked that he got a black eye as a result of going to the CPAC convention, he stated that he was in Boston visiting grandkids when he fell, which required several stitches in his eyebrow and lip, as well as resulting in a black eye.
One of my favourite ones is Prince Philip. He had two black eyes,
Yeah.
but the first one's the best one. This is an official explanation. He said, well, he went to sleep and just woke up with one. So he's been snoring. And the Queen's gone, "Philip! Shut up!"
Shut up!
Oh, fuck me, I've got a shock. I just woke up with it. The Queen's like, "Nothing to do with me."
Where did this black eye come from? The Queen's Justice.
I am the Lord of the Land, fuck you.
I mean, while we're talking about royals, everyone's favourite royal at the moment, Prince Andrew.
Who has given the greatest interview known to mankind
Oh, the peace expressive walking thing.
on BBC.
Yeah. Jesus. But in June 2017, he had a black eye on his left eye. The official explanation? Palace refused to comment.
Well,
Not even, he bumped into the door or it is a... No, Palace refused to comment.
yeah, and to be fair, when Prince Philip got his second black eye, obviously the Queen's gone, "Don't say
Does them
things
again.
to me.
Yeah.
Just don't comment." So again, he had the same black eye twice, and he was refused to comment on his second one.
Got a couple of popes in here.
Yeah.
Pope Francis, September 2017. Official explanation, hit his face on the Pope mobile.
Now, unless someone was there to witness it, which would have been a brilliant.
Been hilarious.
And also, it could have got 200 quid if you've been framed.
Yeah.
If they sent the videotape, and I guess he didn't know about you've been
But
framed.
it's one of them that I fucking fall down the stairs drunk and I get black eyes.
It's good cuts.
Yeah.
You cut your ear, your tongue.
Yeah, cut my ear, cut my eyes. Just don't get black eyes though. Pope Benedict the 16th.
And we're laughing because it's recent.
Yeah, he's recent as well. Still got the scar on me. Pope Benedict 16th, October 2017. Official explanation. The Pope fell.
on his eye.
Fell on his eye, no injury elsewhere or anywhere else, it's just a black eye. And it's always like underneath the eye, like the bags of the eye in it on the left hand side.
I mean, there's a couple that don't have explanations, but we'll try and go for the ones that have explanations. We've got Steve Buscemi,
Yeah.
barroom brawl. That's how you get.
That's
a
how
black
you
eye.
get a black eye.
A real one is you get smacked in the face. None of this nonsense.
One of my favourite ones is Ryan Gosling, 2009.
Right. Okay.
Official explanation: makeup. However, he sustained another black eye when hit by Harrison Ford in a stunt gone wrong while filming Blade Runner.
But they didn't get on the day. I don't think.
And it's like, you're fucking up my legacy of a film.
Lady Gaga got hit in the face with a pole while doing a performance.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hitting stage poles all the time, and fucking media work I've done and stuff. Never left a black eye.
Exactly. Richard Branson, one of my favourites. He was cycling in the dark, and then it hit a bump in the road, and it caused him to be flung over his handlebar, only on his eye. It landed on his cheek,
And it's like,
not his head.
no, not his cheek, just his cheek
Just
on.
his eye,
You
yeah.
know, Jamie Oliver in February 2012 fell down the stairs at his home. Right, and the thing that with me is, if this is that I walked into a door thing, it's like you've been domestically abused. Oh no, I walked into a door.
Yeah.
Like, no, he's hitting you again, isn't it? You know, it does seem a very domestic violence. It, like, someone's done it to them, but they can't say, oh. And I think that's where this is where the facts on this stop, really.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll reel off a few more. I'm sure you can go find, but I've got a list of loads. Boy George, Robert Downey Jr., Perez Hilton, George W. Bush. My favourite one, actually, George W. Bush. He choked on a pretzel, fainted, fell off the couch and hit the floor.
Oh, is this the famous choking on a pretzel thing, wasn't it? Yeah. I remember when that happened.
So yeah, John Cleese, Adam Sandler, Halle Berry. I made her up.
Yeah, you made that one up.
Halle Berry, Simon Cowell, Jimmy Carter, this Lord, Bernie Sanders recently had it.
Yeah.
But there's so many, and this is the tip of the iceberg. Literally, people Google celebrities with black eyes, there's shitloads
and I think it's one of them as well. It's always celebrities. It's people in power, or celebrities that tend to have quite a lot of clout.
Well,
So it's not like fucking Little Mix or Take That. It's like Kanye West and Lady Gaga and Madonna. You know what I mean? It's massive celebrities.
yeah, and you're right. I mean, there are some obviously more minor ones, but you think of how niche Hollywood is.
Mm-hmm.
Think of how realistically, in comparison to everything else, how small Hollywood really is. There's quite a lot of people having black eyes. It's really peculiar.
And it's one of those that it's kind of like no smoke without fire. It's like I'm fine with coincidence in small doses. This is dozens and dozens and dozens of people with 90% of them having a left eye as a black eye. It's like it's too much to be coincidental here.
It's quite, and it's so disproportionate. Like if you pull together 100 of your friends and go, how many of you have had a black eye? Oh, 2 of you. Okay, that's 2 in 100. So many celebs have got.
Yeah. This is a lot of politicians and celebrities and.
There's loads of them. So, in my opinion, there is quite a disproportionate amount of black eyes. Now, this is where the fun starts, right?
Yeah, because like I said, that's where the facts stop.
And it's where
Right?
people.
Because all we know is we know these people have black eyes because we've got pictures of them with black eyes, and then people have gone, oh, how's he got a black eye? Refuse to comment, or he fell out coming out of the shower and stuff like that, walked into a door kind of thing. So the internet being the internet,
You beautiful bastards.
has gone like we have gone. Oh, there's a lot too much here for coincidence. What could it be? So theories that this strange phenomenon and a buzz on the internet range from secret society ritual.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can kind of see that.
And we'll explain a bit more about that, sure.
Yeah, it's like so which involves striking particles in the head, to alien abduction,
Right.
soul scalping
My favourite.
in order to replace our world leaders with alien consciousnesses.
Similar to the Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, the Halloween special
Yeah, yeah.
both is it Kang and
Yeah.
Kratos or whatever it is. Both both take the political things. Yeah. Another theory holds it's a form of punishment used as a sort of check and balance within secret societies.
Okay.
So it's not like keep you in place, remember who's in fucking power. And
But-
you're a public figure, you have to walk out with this now, like publicly shaming you.
Or alternatively to say, I'm the new member of the club, look at my shiner.
Yeah.
Publicly.
Everyone sees my black eye, like, oh, he's one of us now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And other theories lead towards the implementation of life extension technologies or preparatory surgeries for off-world travel.
Yeah. I've also got more.
Go on, what else you got?
We've got devil worship, the Dajjal, something to do with the devil, obviously the Illuminati, talking of adrenochrome,
Yeah.
and that's,
Adrenochrome is probably a whole new episode on its own.
yeah, it's to show the Eye of Horus,
Yeah, I've seen that one.
and also we've got to talk about Donald Marshall. So I think, this is the batshit crazy.
It is batshit crazy. I mean,
I was not expecting rabbit hole.
one thing I've got here is a less extreme theory holds that the phenomenon is nothing more than an entertainment industry capitalising on the public's recent enlightenment of the existence of the Illuminati.
So just
So it's kind of like it's like a game, like, oh look, the public know about the Illuminati and I can see it now, and so it's like, oh look, we have a black eye, the public think I'm part. So Kanye West sells more albums because they think it's part of the Illuminati. So, but then, alright, I can buy that, like Madonna, Lady Gaga, and Kanye, but
why don't they just do the fucking cover
Yeah,
their
yeah.
eye and all this shit?
But if that's like some kind of pseudo marketing campaign or something, why the fuck is the Pope, 2 popes doing it, and Prince Philip?
Because
And Mitt Romney and Bernie Sanders, like...
Because I'm going to be down with the kids, okay?
Yeah, but no, right, you get this thing like, oh, it's parties. People know about the Illuminati. There's some weird marketing ploy that we don't know about, right? Right, so Bernie Sanders, who's a politician campaigning for the little guy to help the people out of America and wants to take wealth from the masses, is just advertising that he's part of this secret club of the elite. Doesn't that destroy his campaign policies?
Only if you know about it.
Right, and then if you do know about it, you don't care because he's one of the Illuminati, so you vote for him.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's like, listen, vote for me, you all you multi-millionaires and multi-billionaires. Back me, I've got a black eye too. You know, get me in power.
I mean, as to talk about Bernie Sanders and being in power, I do like the fact that when he first ran for the presidency, he said, let's get rid of millionaires and billionaires. And then when he ran the second time in the primaries, he just said, let's get rid of billionaires because he was a millionaire now.
Yes. And also, he's got his black eye. So
he's got his black eye now.
He can't say get rid of the...
He's in the elite now, isn't he? Yeah, that's it.
So,
Yeah.
Right then, so out of all of those, which one do we want to tackle? I think, personally, I think we should just go straight to the Illuminati stuff. Let's tackle the big boy club.
Yeah,
Before
let's do that then.
Before we go into anything. So, I'm sure everyone is aware of the Illuminati, who by the way, are genuinely started in Bavaria.
Yeah, genuine society of enlightened thinkers.
It wasn't this big fake thing that people thought up. The Illuminati actually genuinely started in Bavaria in 1776, and about 10 years later, about 1786, 1787, the government outlawed the Illuminati.
I thought with the Vatican. The Vatican declared them heretics.
Possibly.
Because they were preaching science and the age of enlightenment, and it was like, if people get knowledge, they don't need God anymore in religion.
Yeah, because the society's goals were to oppose superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuse of state power.
Yeah.
So, Charles Theodore and his government banned all secret societies, including the Illuminati. So that was about 10 years after the secret society.
They were kind of like the OG liberals, weren't they?
Yes, yes. But...
And there's some big names in there as well. They were like, rumoured to be like major composers and like Galileo and stuff like that, weren't they? Van Gogh and stuff, and...
Yeah, I think...
later on down the line, supposed to be Einstein and stuff like that.
And these were all clearly true.
Yeah.
The internet says it, so it must be right. But the Illuminati is again, we've got to make sure it was a genuine society that may not have finished 10 years after the fact. And people.
But I think it's widely recorded that it didn't finish in 1786. It's widely recorded that it carried on in secret.
Yeah.
But like we know, there's document evidence that it carried on in secret, with ciphers and stuff between people, and we've got those documents. But what we don't know is, does it still continue today?
Donald Marshall, I will get onto Donald Marshall. I don't know if you've read anything.
The Donald Marshall Cloning Centre.
Yeah.
I've heard of it briefly in the past, but yeah.
So in his open letter, and we're just slightly going off tangent, but I just want to explain what he says is the Illuminati. He said, in his first open letter, I have been cloned by a large secretive cult known as the Freemasons and the Vril Society, and Scientologists all come together to form the Illuminati. So he's saying Freemasons, the Vril Society, and Scientologists. Tom Cruise, you bastard!
Freemasons. Yeah, I mean Freemasons are kind of whenever you research Illuminati, you'll find Freemasons.
Yeah.
Not kind of like their vehicle for power, well, really, I think. But the Vril Society, we're going into alien shadow government now, and
Hitler. Because we've covered
Hollow
Earth, Hollow Earth, and partly as well in the did Hitler escape to Argentina? I don't know if he's still doing this, but it might be up here somewhere. But if not, we've got a few videos top, and we'll bring through definitely in Hollow Earth. We talk about the Vril Society.
I think we touched on slightly in Did Hitler Escape to South America. Scientology, like, that's a batshit crazy religion.
It's a cult. Well,
it's a cult.
I refuse to call the fucking thing a religion.
Right, no. The reason I'm calling it a religion, for the purposes of this conversation, is that it does have tax-exempt church states in America, right? And what you were just saying earlier, the guiding principles of the Illuminati, the founding principles, was to avoid religion, replacing reason thinking. What were the exact words you said on the Illuminati?
Oh, you mean from Bavarian?
Yeah, yeah.
The actual
proper Illuminati, yeah.
making me find me notes, man. Jesus, they're in no particular order, so you might have to wait a second. The Illuminati. What? Bloody hell! You put me right on the spot. This is what happens when you have too many notes. So it is. The Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name refers to the Bavarian Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yada yada. The society's goals were to oppose superstition, obscurantism, religious influence over public life, and abuse of state power.
So religious influence.
Original. This is original.
Why would what class of religion in America be part of the Illuminati when the Illuminati's founding goals are to oppose religious influence?
Yeah, but this is different. It kind of ties into now. If I'm thinking about it, is it Xenu, who's the god, the alien god of and the Thetans.
The Thetans, everyone's got Thetans in them.
Yeah, and I'm sure Xenu.
The demons that are sucking on your spirit, and you're going to get rid of them.
And something along the lines of Xenu was 96 million years ago, came down to Earth and caused all these nuclear bombs to go off and in volcanoes and all these Thetans.
And these Thetans came out from inside the Earth.
So it's all. That's not religious. That's aliens. The real society is all aliens, so maybe they go hand in hand in some crazy, non-religious, higher level stuff. Is your brain hurting yet?
Yeah, start him.
I don't know how I managed
There's
to
some fucking jumps and stretches there, mate.
But anyway,
that one of those. But when you talk about, I just went, okay. Like, it's like my brain's head. It's just like I miss pubs and talking to drunk dickheads like this in pub. You know, when you just talk to some drunken old man, you're going like, it don't matter what I say. I could say that the sky's blue, and he'd disagree with me. I can't win this argument with him.
But 21st century Illuminati, they are supposed to be the people who pull all the strings behind all the governments.
Yeah.
Trying to shape the world into an image that they want. The accusations some people accuse the COVID cycle that we're going through now via Illuminati means shifting power balances. Because I read something along the lines of the working man lost £3.6 trillion and the global elite have gained £3.8 trillion, and that shows the power balance in COVID.
Yeah.
So, there's all these things about Illuminati here to control the world, take the wealth of the...
But it's that thing, the biggest thing during the COVID break is like all the shops have to shut, non-essential retail has to shut.
Yeah.
Like, you can buy everything from Amazon and get delivered to your house.
Bezos. Yeah. So...
You know what I mean? It's... Like, I can't go down to that hardware store at the end of the street that's been there for 40 years and buy a new hammer or some nails and whatnot. But I can get them the next day delivered from Amazon.
So, how do we link these black eyes to the Illuminati then?
Well, for me, there's kind of steps to it. Like, I don't know, like Illuminati is the big one. There's like organisations beneath them, and the way I always thought of it. So when you go like people in power, like politicians and popes and stuff like that, when you see elite businessmen and politicians, and you got like, some ritual or whatever that they're doing, whether that's checks and balance ritual or some new guy initiated, instantly my brain goes to Bilderberg Group.
Yeah. I agree.
And then Bilderberg, you get to a certain level in the Bilderberg, then you get into, is it Bohemian Grove?
I think Bohemian Grove's under Bilderberg.
No, Bohemian Grove, then Bilderberg, then Illuminati kind of. You see my logic?
Yeah. So
it might be a case of like, you're in Bohemian Grove.
Or Skull and Bones Society.
Skull and Bones, because when it like George W. Bush stole Geronimo's skull for his initiation into Skull and Bones.
It's better than David Cameron who fucked a pig's head.
Yeah. He fucked the pig's head.
It's better than that.
That one was Skull and Bones, wasn't it? That was Cambridge, I think, wasn't it? Or because Skull and Bones is Harvard.
I'm not really sure. I know
Harvard or Yale, it's one of the two.
One of the big
one of them two. But
universities in America.
Yeah. I think the story is that he went out and dug up Geronimo's grave and stole his skull, and he's still in the Skull and Bones lair now.
Congratulations.
There's like a big uproar over it, but yeah, apparently he stole that as his initiation. But I'm wondering if it's case like, you get to a position of power as a businessman or a politician, you get some real fucking clout.
Yeah.
You know, like not like, you're rich, come into our club. And it's like, the rich, come into our club, you're in Bohemian Grove, you can get to Bohemian Grove. Then, a few contacts, make a few things. Now you start having, you've got a couple of politicians in your pocket. You've got you've got a couple of mates who now we all run fucking water supply over Europe. Now you've got some political clout. Now, get a black eye, you're in Bilderberg. And then when everybody else
Right,
sees you on TV with a black eye, even though because you'll never meet all the members of Bilderberg, but people see you on TV with a black eye, he's just joined Bilderberg.
I mean, not necessarily Bilderberg, but if we're talking about the Illuminati is like a pyramid.
Yeah.
You get your black eye at a certain part of the pyramid, and then if next time you'll have the black eye in the other eye, you've gone up another level.
You've gone up another level. Yeah, you've joined the.
And then next time you see it in the papers for fucking kids, you've gone to the top
You've
level.
gone to the top level.
Copied the Pope.
Well, it's that thing. It's like I don't know. We're going through a lot of fucking jumping all over the place here, but like Epstein's Island, where apparently he took videos of people with kids as insurance. So is this? That's not insurance, is it? It's just kind of like letting broadcast into the world that you're in their club now. So if you ever bump into them, they know you're in their club without. Because how do you tell everybody?
Yeah. So realistically, we're saying that these celebrities don't particularly have any power.
Sorry.
They're just in the club.
Yeah. It just, I think it's that Fight Club thing, you know, when you watch your Fight Club and the waiters there with a broken arm and everything. You Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club.
You're in the club.
What's the first rule of Fight Club? I don't talk about Fight Club.
It doesn't exist.
Right, yeah. Alright, you're one of those, and it's just like normal working guys, these horrific injuries, and it's like, yeah, I'm in the Boston Fight Club, mate. I'm in the Seattle one, you know.
Stop talk about it. That crazy bastard's going to.
There's a lot of members for saying no one talked about it.
It's true. Yes. If anyone's seen Fight Club, it's like Fight Club then. Yeah. It's like, I'm in the club, but I can't tell you I'm in the club, but I can show you I'm in the club.
But it's that kind of thing where I can go on TV with black eye, I fell getting out of the shower, and that kind of explains it away. But anyone else seeing it goes, what? He's been cutting through ranks for the last few years as a politician. He's been, he was just a politician 10 years ago, and now he's shadow minister for education or something like that, or business minister.
Yeah.
And he's like, now he's got a black eye. Right. So if I see him again, I know I can give him the handshake or whatever, or he'll know too. Whereas before I can't tell you I'm in a secret club. It's a secret club. How am I supposed to? We'll never know. Whereas if you see me on TV with a black eye, then the next time we're at some kind of event or social gathering, like, all right, Paul.
Well,
I know, I'm in as well. I got my black eye in 2018.
Is there a conspiracy and a conspiracy here? Because imagine that you're a celebrity and you're like, hey, Kanye's in the Illuminati's got a black eye. Here, give me a black eye and I'll
give me a black eye and I'll pretend I'm in it. Yeah,
like, are you in the club? Got the black eye.
Got the
My
black
wife
eye,
gave me it. But
yeah.
So the
people just faking it.
Yeah. The fake black eye club. That's a spin off.
Yeah. I'm gonna appear on YouTube next week with a black eye, just for fun of it, like.
Oh, so eye patch.
Yeah. All right, guys.
So I would say though, the people we spoke about. Well, actually, I will caveat this because when we do start talking a little bit further down the line about black eyes, and specifically about Our Royal Family, by Donald Marshall, he might have a different opinion, but for the most part, these guys are just famous with influence, and so therefore they're part of the Illuminati because they have a form of influence. They can pass on certain messages.
Well, I suppose it's that thing. Like, so if you've got, I suppose they all differ. That's the thing that's such why. So if you've got someone like John Kerry, he had a black eye.
But he could be political influence by changing policies.
He could change policies and laws and put stuff. No, he could bring in lockdown protocols and stuff. Got someone like Kanye or Madonna, they can change societal thinking. So they can make something trendy or make something. No, she comes out, I'm vegan and eating meat's bad. Suddenly, overnight, you've got 2 million new vegans.
Yep.
If she's got that kind of pull, then she puts her message into your.
It's true. Yeah.
She puts your agenda into her music. You suddenly, so she's kind of like she's the mouthpiece for them, for the organisation, whereas John Kerry is the legislator of it.
That's true.
And if you get Kanye and Madonna changing societal thinking, then that makes it easier when John Kerry puts this legislation through. Not many people are going to kick off about it because.
Yeah, so I mean, again, this is a leap a little bit, but it's similar to what people say regarding Hollywood. So like how Spielberg has been making alien movies to prepare people for aliens. So when they say aliens exist, like, oh, I fucking knew it.
Well, this is
I knew it because we've seen E.T. and we've seen Independence Day and we've seen all these.
Well, this is where the argument comes from. For most sci-fi shows, you see, have little grey men or reptilian aliens.
Yeah.
And the idea is that if 50 years ago, President would come out and scream, "Oh, we've made first contact, we've met aliens. Here they are," everyone lose their fucking minds. Whereas they bring out what's called a sectoid, like the little green men.
Yeah.
They bring out a sectoid on stage, and I'm going, Stargate were right.
Paul, he's right.
Yeah, Paul was right. You know, there's no rather than mass panic going. It's just like. Fuck, Stargate were right all along. How did Simon Pegg know? Or is this suddenly we talk about the conspiracy of how these writers knew?
Yeah.
They're not. There's a fucking alien there. You know.
So potentially
So the idea is that Hollywood's been grooming us for it.
Hollywood manipulating us with their movies, with their music.
It's getting that familiarity.
Yeah.
We're used to that image. This is what an alien looks like. This is what an alien looks like.
Yeah.
Because if you look back at all the aliens you see on sci-fi shows, they kind of go back to the descriptions of the aliens in the Roswell crash.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, that's I mean, if the Illuminati is real, well, I'm not saying they are now. That's for another show. And if this Black Eye Club is real, to say the Illuminati, that kind of you can see where people make that leap.
Yeah, where the influence of the fact.
Yeah.
I'll just point out when he said Spielberg makes alien movies, he's never made one with the little green men or the lizards. It's always.
But he did in Close Encounters of the Third Kind Extended Edition. You see them come out.
But they're tall and slender and do
but
the
little
hands.
ones. There's little ones as well.
Oh, there's little ones that run out to help them in.
Yeah,
you did put them in the
so,
access code,
and then when he goes on board, in the Extended Edition, Richard Dreyfuss goes on board to the spaceship and they've got the little ones there.
Yeah, they've got little ones. Alright, yeah, fair enough, fair point. So I just think like E.T. looks nothing like any alien you see on TV.
Yeah, I mean.
The Close Encounters one were different. The ones that come out with the hands and.
But they're all still quite short. Not necessarily big arm and down.
No, but yeah.
But they all have these powers and so on and so forth. But yeah, so this ties into the Illuminati for those reasons. I think
but right now I can buy this so far. It's some kind of ritual initiation for a secret group. When we
there's
say
some
Illuminati,
plausibility about it.
I mean, it's not a thing like we know the Illuminati existed, but don't know if they exist today. We know Bohemian Grove exists. We know Bilderberg exists. We know it skews power and creates elites because. I think up to Tony Blair or David Cameron, and my stats might be off here, but I think Tony Blair or David Cameron, up to them, I think they were 5 out of the 6 last Prime Ministers had attended Bilderberg Group the year before they got voted as Prime Minister.
I know Barack Obama did as the last president.
Yeah,
that I remember.
I think David Cameron and the Prime Ministers before him, I think 6, he was the 5th out of the 6 last British Prime Ministers.
Right.
5 of those last 6 had attended Bohemian Grove the year before Bilderberg Group the year before they got elected. So it was like, you're an up-and-coming politician. We invite you to the Bilderberg Group. Now you get told what this is. You get told what this is. Now you got to do it, and you get elected next year.
I mean, I don't want to go too much into the Bilderberg Group because that is definitely a show on its
own. But no, so what I'm saying, we know they exist, and we know this. I'm just using that as point. This happens. And this is not conspiracy. This is fact.
And they absolutely, against all laws on the world, shape human policy to their own agenda.
So, could it be, like say, an up-and-coming politician, starts doing well, gets invited to the Bilderberg Group, a couple months later, goes off some more meetings in secret, pops up with a black eye, so now the rest of the world know he's in the club.
Yeah, so politically, Bilderberg and making political statements, celebrities are change culture, change the message in pop culture and so on. So,
see, I'm on board with this theory so far. This makes sense. It's logical in a way.
Whether the black eye ties into any of that.
Yeah. But also tying that black eye in with that step of these groups that we know exist, this could be an initiation of ritual.
It's not implausible.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay. The other stuff might have been very implausible.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you tell me what the next one is.
So, I was thinking, because I've got many different audio, so I've got rituals here.
That's fine, yeah.
Right. And he's saying, we have rituals and ceremonies since the beginning of the States. Look at church, look at weddings, look at coronations, funerals. There's a certain way we do funerals, a certain way we do. So we have rituals, we're used to rituals.
Yeah.
Rituals deep in human nature. Right?
I mean, got all the way through humanity, pagan rituals and sacrificing animals to gods because they don't understand why the weather's controlled in certain ways and desperate for rain, and it's like Vikings did it. Everyone's done it,
But even today, if it's some when you go to a wedding, somebody invites you to a wedding, you will know exactly how that wedding's going to work and what steps it's going to play out in.
Yeah, unless you do humanist weddings, but the traditional.
But when you go to a registry office or a church, you've got to be the groom at the altar. The bride's going to walk into some music.
Yeah.
You're going to say something around the lines of these
Yeah.
traditional vows. Then they'll leave. You'll throw confetti outside. Then you all go to a pub, or you either go for a meal, or you go to a pub, and then you get you get people invited to the wedding. You get people invited to the night night party, and it's that's ritualistic.
Of course.
So we still have them today. So saying it's a ritual to get into a club isn't. You have a ritual to get into the married club. You have a ritual to live the fucking life. To be honest, you're dead. It's still a ritual when your funeral.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
So I'm just saying, people going, it's a ritual to get into it. It's not outlandish. Just realise we have rituals in everything. The other one is that it's checks and balances.
Okay. Please do explain.
So what we mean by checks and balances is that, in the American government, we have they have 3 different branches of government.
Yeah.
And they all they're all like a teetering edge, so that each one, neither one can get too much power and the one can overlook the other. By checks and balances is keeping power accountable.
Yeah.
So
it's as if you've got out of line.
You've got out of line, right? And it's like, well, I can't have a black eye. I'm on camera. My photo gets taken 100 times a day, or I'm famous. And whenever I walk out of my house, go to the shops, there's someone taking pictures of me and stuff. Yeah, well, this is a shame you have to put up with.
You just made an interesting point there. A thought's just come to me going, if these guys are celebrities, these guys are politicians and so on and so forth, and as you just said there, well, I've got to go out on fucking camera. Now, if they genuinely wanted to, they could mask that with makeup.
Yeah, but will they get you more punishment? Your punishment isn't the black eye.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to buy into what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because, realistically, if they didn't want to show it, they wouldn't have to.
Yeah, so they won't show it. So what I'm thinking is either it's your punishment, and it's either one, it's your shame of having a black eye in front of the world, and if you're a Madonna or Lady Gaga, you better fucking clear out being beautiful and flawless, and now you've got this big fucking flaw on your face. You've got to go show it, that's your punishment. Or is it you've been punished, but we were saying you go on these politicians have gone on TV and they've got a black eye, so someone else I go on TV with a black eye. You're in same secret size as me, but I don't know you are. So it's me telegraphing to members that I'm in it.
Yeah.
I might reflect that, and I go on TV. I'm in that secret society, but I go on TV with a black eye, and you go, "Oh, not doing that for a year. He's been punished." It's me telling other rather than going, "I've got a black eye. I'm in your club." It's me going, "I've got a black eye. I've been punished. I've been sanctioned." That deal I had with him is going off. I'm not getting involved with what he's been punished.
So I'm trying to buy into that. That could potentially be true because, as you said, if your life has been flawless, you could easily hide the black eye with the makeup.
Oh yeah, easily hide.
You don't have to go out and go, "I've got a shiner."
No. So why are they not hiding it?
Yeah, exactly. So is there a reason?
Is there a reason for not hiding it?
So that's buying into the checks and balances idea. That.
Yeah. So it's either where I was saying this could be a calling card, I'm in your club now. Could also be
a warning.
I've been punished. I've done wrong, and people don't stay away with you for 12 months.
So Prince Philip had 2, so he were warned twice.
And
then clearly didn't get Clinton, but maybe you only get 3 warnings. It's 2 warnings.
The 2 warnings in your house. But again,
third one.
Prince Philip, fucking husband to the Queen of England, Pope, leader of the fucking Catholic Church, and they're getting punished. Who the fuck's more powerful than them 2?
I'm going to tell you later on.
No, but that's what it says. If they've been punished by somebody, who the fuck's more powerful than them?
The ALEuminati. The hand at the puppet's arse.
Mm-hmm.
You people see the puppet talking, but they don't see the hand. That's the whole thing about who's really in power of the world isn't the people you think.
Yeah, and I'd be interested because I meant to do this. I didn't meant to check it out, but I was thinking you never really see British politicians with black eyes, but there's a lot of American politicians. So I was wondering. I didn't have the time to look into this. I apologise, but I was wondering how many of those politicians are involved in Department of Defence funding.
I'd say if you're a politician in America, you're very heavily involved because America's run off the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, but I was thinking really involved. Mitt Romney. I'm pretty sure Mitt Romney were.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
On the funding committee for the defence.
McCain and Romney and all those guys.
They're all involved in Department of Defence stuff and military spending at a high level.
I mean, that's a...
George W. Bush. Bernie Sanders never really won, was it?
But Bush definitely was.
Bush definitely won, but...
And his father.
But Sanders on the House Committee for Checks and Balances or something like that as well.
He got a check and balance.
He got a check and balance, yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting actually. I never thought about checks and balances. The flipping the other side of this is actually a warning. Told you once, I'm not going to tell you twice. And if I tell you twice, you are definitely getting.
And then and the part of your punishment is to I've got a black eye, and I fucking no over in a minute. I just cover it up with some makeup. I'm good to go. It's like no, you have to show that until it disappears on its own. It heals naturally, and then everybody knows you've been sanctioned. But everyone who's in the know in our club knows that you've been sanctioned and not to deal with for the next 6 months or 3 months, whatever.
And
or is it they can't deal with you while you've got your black eye? You're marked.
Or maybe not necessarily marked, but it's a case of anyone who knows what this person's done, you don't fucking do it. You know, like you know when your first warning's just a warning. We're not going to take all your power off you. We're not going to ruin you in the press. We're not going to make sure that your fucking life falls to pieces because, you know, Epstein's got that video on you.
Yeah.
You know, this is the black eye is. The Epstein video's coming out next week unless you fucking start towing the line. Or whatever other videos are in there.
I think it's less, I've just had a thought now, if it's less insidious than that. What if it's just a case of like...
It's conspiracy channel, we're going insidious.
No, but what if it's less insidious? So like, we're in this club, we're in this secret club, whatever, right? We're both in it together. And, you know, there's going to be some kind of bar or fucking... Not a bar, but there'll be like somewhere you meet, like a club out, like like a Masonic lodge or something like that where you go meet.
Epstein's Island, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right, there'll be someplace in some private members bar in Washington where we go meet, or in London where we go meet.
Oh, your own secret island, you know, like...
No, the gentlemen's clubs you get in.
Yeah.
Right? But what was the case of like, I turn up and they go, you're up there, you've been scratched for 2 months because of what you've done something like that. No, I saw that, it's all sorted, it's fine, I can come in, right? But what's the case, I'll turn up and it's like, got a black eye, you're not allowed in.
Maybe.
You're not allowed in, mate. So you're going in, all those, you're getting all those connections, all those, gaining more power, more influence, and I'm still outside going, I know what's going on in there, and I'm not allowed in until this is gone.
Or is it demotion?
Yeah.
You've been fucking demoted, yeah. There's loads of things you can play off that. But
I think it's just a public sign to be like, you know...
That's as plausible...
I can't lie that I'm sorting it out because I've still got a fucking black eye here that says I'm not allowed in while this is on.
And that's as plausible as the first one.
Yeah.
So either could be true.
Yeah, I just think, that's... So, it's... The other one is, like I said, I think we've covered it, the other one is that it's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
So we kind of covered that, like I'm in the club, we kind of covered that.
Well, I'm going to bring up two that are linked then, if we've done that one, before we start going absolutely batshit crazy.
Right, okay, go on.
So, Badger, the one that I quite find, one that's quite interesting actually, is there's a biblical turn on this one as well. But when I say biblical, I'm talking Antichrist.
Okay.
So, some people believe that the Black Eye Club is actually a replication of things they've seen in Islam and in Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them is the Dajjal, or he's known as the Antichrist, and he's blind in one eye and he's also blackened. So what people are saying is that actually, when you've got this black eye as part of this club, is you're actually part of a satanic cult. You're actually part of a...
So it's a show of faith, like a crucifix or a turban or something, or...
Well, they just say it. People believe that, you know, these guys are like, well, I'm part of this satanic ritual, part of this satanic cult, and opposite to God in any way, shape or form, and that the end of times is possibly coming. And that's why there's more and more occurrences of the black eye coming out from celebrities and so on, because they're also part of this satanic cult and this satanic ritual.
But isn't the Antichrist, so the Antichrist coming, so that sort of like heralds the second coming of Jesus, doesn't it? If I remember my theology right. So...
Well, the Dajjal's supposed to fight Jesus, isn't he?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be that Satan waged war upon the throne, lost the battle and got cast down to hell. But they agreed, like over the peace talks, like the surrender talks, was that he'd go take care of hell, but men were allowed, we had to give man free will.
Yes.
So if we're good, we go to heaven and we bolster God's army. If we're evil, we go to hell and we bolster Satan's army.
He's got a big army.
Right. He wasn't allowed to interfere or coerce us, and God wasn't allowed to either. It's man's choice what we do. But once there's enough power in hell, then he can bring the Antichrist to earth to claim it. Or once he's got enough to claim it, and then that's when Jesus returns and the rapture and everyone goes to heaven.
This sounds very Constantine.
And then well, it's what Constantine's based on, and then the fight over the earth. So if these people are all wearing black eyes because the Antichrist is coming back, does that mean we're evil as fuck as a society?
It just means they know the end is coming.
Yeah, but if they know the end is coming, the end is only coming because Satan's ranks are swelling in hell.
Yeah, but
he feels he's got enough people to be close to launching his assault.
But some of the other satanic societies believe that they're actually very just. That they're nothing to do with this. That Satan's evil. They believe that Satan himself was actually cast down from heaven, but he was actually the person who freed humanity, and that he was the light giver. He's absolutely nothing to do with. He's not this ancient evil. He's actually been done wrong, and he's, and they look at that society as some Satanists see Lucifer as the person who actually gave man free will.
Well, I've had this argument before where you can argue, if you look at the Bible in a pragmatic sense, you can argue that God created humans as equals. They created in his image and as equals, because the Bible actually says that Adam used to walk alongside God each night in the Garden of Eden.
So not like as a
subordinate. Or,
yeah.
No, God came down.
Genuinely in his image.
God came down, and in the Garden of Eden story, God comes down to earth and shouts at him, "Is that Adam, why are you walking alongside me tonight?" It's all because I'm naked. What do you mean you're naked? How do you know that? And that's when he figures out they're eating from the tree of knowledge. And then gets cast out of the Garden of Eden. So since, in the Garden of Eden, man used to walk alongside God. Since the Garden of Eden, man's worshipped God.
Yeah.
Like trying to get back to that level, like kind of apologising and trying to get his good graces again. But my argument is that God created humans, but it was Satan who convinced Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge, that gave man knowledge and humanity and self-awareness. Well, I suppose that's self-awareness under God as well, but yeah, so you could argue that God created humans, but Satan created humanity, because he gave us our knowledge.
Correct, yeah.
Our intelligence, so...
And I completely, I won't say agree, but I understand that concept, if I believe in God.
So if you take that line of thought, then being a Satanist is not some evil child murdering cult. It's actually quite a humanist approach. It's like we don't need God, we don't need a higher being, because we get from that tree of knowledge, we have the knowledge.
Yeah.
If that contains all the knowledge of God, then we are our own deities.
It's kind of like being in prison. So you only understand this set of rules within prison that God set and goes, this is your confinement, and as long as you stay within
it's lights out at 10 o'clock, you go to bed at 10.
Yeah, and if you stay within this confinement and follow these rules, then
you'll be good. You're looked after. You're fine.
I will look after you. Then someone will have the gate open, and you're going, tips you right over the cell wall. Go, fucking hell! Look at all that. It's like, yeah, it was me who left you the key, and then that's the guy
who gave you freedom. Yeah. That's the guy who gave you the world. But the other side of that is institutionalism. I've worked, my previous job, I used to work in a prison. I worked with a guy who'd been in prison for 22 years. And he'd go to bed at 10 o'clock because it was lights out at 10.
Reminds me of the Shawshank, Shawshank Redemption, where...
I took him to I didn't think I really fucked up in my job at this point. I didn't think, let's go get some food in. So, to go take you shopping, bring back at night, I'll go take you shopping. When he went to prison, the only shop was his corner shop at the end of his street. I took him to fucking Pudsey Alcoats, didn't I?
Oh, Jesus.
A big fucking massive shopping centre with like thousands of people. The guy just fucking freaked out. I'm like, shit, sorry, let's get you out. I got him, silly shit, I got him a Freeview box. We went to prison, there were only 3 channels. He's coming home and he can't figure out why there's like 300 channels on his TV. So there's that institutional side, mate. So
yeah, of course, yeah. And I guess in a weird way, Adam and Eve were institutionalised too. This is you've got no free will.
Are we arguing that Satanists are free-minded but Christians are institutionalised?
So what I'm saying is...
Because Christians are trying to worshipping God and worshipping when...
What I'm saying is...
man used to walk alongside him.
I'm going to put this as bluntly as possible can. If you believe in that fairy tale to start with, you can interpret that fairy tale however you see fit.
Yeah. Like I said, I've always said, like, if you want to believe in that fairy tale, that's your right to do so. You can. If you don't, I might think you're an idiot for believing in that fairy tale, but I will always defend your right to believe in that fairy tale.
Exactly. In the same way that I still think Shawshank Redemption is the best movie I've made. So, you know, and people could fight me on that if they want to.
Without warning.
However, I will say, you're still wrong, Steve Perrin. You're still wrong.
66 of the greatest games ever made.
And we're going to fight this
not greatest games, most important games.
According to me, he says. And you're wrong on many levels.
But if they're according to him, it can't be wrong.
But
because it's his opinion. It says according to me in the title, so it's his opinion.
Yeah, but his opinion could still be wrong.
It's his opinion. Your opinion, what says your opinion's right and his is wrong, or his is right and yours is wrong.
So I'll go Christianity now with top Dajjal, even though we're kind of with Christianity anyway. There's a couple of paragraphs which people tried to suggest is evidence.
So, yeah, I just realised I was talking Christianity and Christian theology, but that was an easily misquote.
Well,
I don't know much about it. Yeah.
We said Antichrist. The Dajjal.
Yeah.
The Dajjal is I think there's a place in Iraq or Iran or somewhere. There's already a place there where the Dajjal's going to come back. Unless you can know he's a Dajjal, you're going to think he can do miracles and he's the Reformation of Christ.
Yeah,
but really,
it's the Antichrist posing as Christ.
Yeah. And people will be able to tell it's a Dajjal. And people who believe in Islam will see his true self.
Islam don't believe Jesus was the son of God, they just believe he was a prophet.
Yes, they believe he died, but they believe Muhammad is the last prophet.
Yeah, Muhammad is the last prophet,
Yeah. But in Christianity, there's a couple of places here where they're talking about the black eye. So one of them is Zechariah 11:17. Woe to the idle shepherd that loveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm, and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean, dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. An idle shepherd is a replication of the Antichrist. So what's saying in the Bible is the Antichrist has got a black eye. And therefore, when we see people in society, see all these celebrities and politicians with this black eye, they're projecting the Antichrist.
Yeah, but that's the right eye.
Yeah.
When it's generally the overwhelmingly the left eye.
So maybe there's a split. So maybe there's a part of the right eye club of like Antichrist, left eye club of ALEuminati.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
There's a split in the faction.
Theological war, secret society war. Like.
Exactly. Or alternatively, there's too many right-handed people trying to get black eyes. You're supposed to get a soundboard to do it. You just
thinking celebrity. It's like, I'm going to punch in your left eye now. No, it's my good side. I've got a phone shooter. Get my right eye. That's my bad side. But like, you're supposed to be a left eye, but you're a vein fucker. We'll take the right one instead.
Oh fucking hell, yeah. So maybe there's not enough lefties. That's the problem. So, oh shit, wrong one. Oh.
No, but I just don't know if it is some sort of like ritual of initiation or show of faith or whatever. It says the right eye, but it's overwhelmingly the left eye in the Black Eye Club that we're talking about.
But also, I mean, I'm gonna potentially with also people say when it comes to evil, there's always a mirror image. So is it looking in the mirror?
So they declare themselves soldiers of Christ because it's their left eye, so they're the good side, the right eye is the bad side.
I don't fucking know. All right, I'm just fucking trying to stick a shoe on the narrative.
Sorry for having critical thinking skills.
How dare you?
How dare I in this day and age?
I'm going religious on you. Don't you fucking question me.
In the year of our Antichrist, 2021.
Let me just read the next paragraph. This is not my fucking theory, alright? I'm telling you somebody else's theory. Matthew 6:22. The eye is a lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, I can't read all English, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is the darkness? So ultimately, if you've got a black eye, you're full of the darkness.
Yeah, you've got a black eye, you've got a black soul.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So again, these two.
Is that the right eye or the left eye?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say. So according to Matthew, it can be any eye.
It can be any eye. It's fine. Yeah.
Zechariah is saying, "Oh, it's the right eye," but maybe he was a left.
I'm going to say like that. It's so if we see a politician with a black eye, they've got a black soul, we should trust them. But politicians, that should be your first fucking clue not to trust them.
Or alternatively, again, we flip it and go, black soul, the devil, but the devil might freak humanity. Who do you know? What do you know? But either way, some people believe, to get a little bit more serious here, some people do believe that this is a satanic ritual of sorts. People with a black eye are playing their hand to say, I'm part of a satanic ritual, I'm part of a satanic club, and the Antichrist is on his way. Right, okay. Let's do soul scalping. Get it out of the way. I'm going to warn you guys now. To this point, we've tried some form of try and explain some things away based upon a logical approach.
Yeah, it's like we've had that whole theological debate about Satan from a humanist point of view, like Satan's not evil. Like, look, if Satanists don't think they're evil, so we've tried taking that approach, giving the argument from why Satan is good, and like,
now
to explain their point.
If people at home have an issue with taking, shall I be polite and say logical leaps? Now would be the time to stop, because this is about to go.
This isn't a logical leap. This is a flight of fancy.
And you said it really nicely. This is for the Batshit Crazy Club. We are about to go rabbit hole on soul scalping.
So pause the video, pour yourself a drink, sit down, and then restart, because this is going to be fucking fun. So the term soul scalping was coined by Sherry Shriner. I won't be able to say that on another bottle of this on, although the idea had been around since the 1940s, and in sci-fi classics such as Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The famous miniseries from the 80s, V, also ran with this theme. Probably the most recent and accurate description of this theory, however, can be seen in the Stargate series, which you won't fucking know how much I love Stargate. Sherry's belief is that the head of state and Hollywood elites are abducted and surgeries performed on their eye. So her quote is, quote, they take slimy skinny snake, about 6 to 8 inches long, greyish in colour. That's exactly how they are in Stargate. It looks more like a long slimy worm and opens a person's mouth and stick it down their throat. These reptile alien work in groups. In true form, most of them are over 6'4" tall. They watch and study the targeted person so they know all about them. And when they take over their brains and bodies, they can act and become that person. They even do this to their kids so the kids don't make a fuss that something's wrong with mummy or daddy, because something's just not right about them. They don't care about destroying the lives of children. They're all cold and heartless, unemotional reptiles with no thought of love, compassion or human emotions and sentiment. Those are emotions they have to learn to fake when they take over a human's body so they can blend in with society as a human. What they do is transform their entire being or conscious self into this proboscis and eject it off their head and then wiggle into the host such as a human, and they enter into a person's eye. If they have help, the host's eyeball can be pulled out and this proboscis can be put into the back of the eye, where it will then wiggle and spiral itself around the person's optical nerve, and it also takes control of the person's brain as well. Donald Marshall talks about this. He's part of Lucifer's Disclosure Project, where they are revealing all their methods, technology and nefarious agendas to mankind, end quote. Right? So, got a couple of issues with that. It's quite a big quote, but... So,
you got a black eye.
You got a black eye to swear this.
Yeah.
Right? But her statement makes no sense.
It's something about the eye and the throat, I think.
Right, so first she's talking about, basically describing the Goa'uld from Stargate, right? And she says, they're going through they open up the mouth and going through the throat. It's a slime worm, they open the person's mouth and stick it down their throat.
Yeah.
And then later on, in the same quote, says, they transform their entire being or conscious self into this proboscis and eject it off their head and wiggle into the host, such as a human, and they enter the person's eye. If they have help, the host's eyeball can be pulled out and this proboscis can be... So, they're going down the throat or they're using a proboscis?
I think what we're probably missing there is some context in between. So, there's 2 paragraphs of a website there, isn't there?
It's all put together as one quote here. It's all put together as one quote, but... Yeah, or is it 2 things? Is it like it can go in as itself down the throat and take over the body as a parasite, or if it can put its entire mind in, eject through a proboscis into your eye, but then its body dies.
Or is it like Alien, where you've got the thing hatches out the egg, has to suck to your face, inject, and then you've got the chest buster. So you've got 2 different species.
I'm just thinking it's 2 different ways. So you've got like the snake can go down the throat and take over the body, but if it needs to, it can eject a proboscis out of its eye, but that kills its body, and it lives as this tiny parasite with its full conscious intact. So it's kind of like, preferably, it'd rather go down your throat and take over your body, but if need be, it could eject it. But then, why would you need this black eye ritual of the dying? Is it just the dying suddenly need help? What's going on?
I mentioned Donald Marshall. I actually mentioned it, but
yeah, but so soul scalping to me just sounds like Stargate SG-1. So the question is,
or body snatchers.
yeah.
You know.
So the question is, has Sherry Shiner watched too much sci-fi, or going back to what we said at the top of the show about aliens and Stargate and X-Files and all that, showing us little grey men, so we're used to aliens coming out. Is Stargate just showing us what happens so that we're not appalled by it when we find out when it comes to our turn?
It's a really interesting loop, isn't it? I mean, okay. Firstly, we have to talk about evidence, right? So, David Icke said Prince Philip was a lizard man.
Yeah, said they're lizard people.
Okay, and Prince Philip just recently died as we film this. And this Sherry Shriner, who's died now, I believe, who's also
She's died now. Yeah.
Was talking about all these things that have occurred. So you've got all these heads of state, you've got all these celebrities and so on that have supposedly been taken over by this worm in the eye, and you've got this reptilian race, effectively that's owning mankind. Again, it's exactly what David Icke was talking about.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a production of a reptilian race or this worm, this ape? How does she know it's an 8-inch worm? Has she seen one? Has she produced one?
This
has
is
she
the thing.
followed one? A video of one?
We don't even know how she knows this.
Exactly. So
she's never come out and said, I was part of the Bilderberg group and I witnessed this ritual, which still is flimsy, because we've only got a word for it, no evidence, but she's not even said how she knows it and who this group is. We don't know who. She's not said it's the ALEuminati, it's the Bilderberg, it's the shadow government, or, she's not said who these people are, she's not said how she knows this stuff. Just like she's read a lot of fucking sci-fi and watched a lot of sci-fi and made a name for herself.
So, I think I've got the same quote as you with an extra couple of lines in the end, actually. So, they don't care about destroying the lives of children.
Mm-hmm.
They're cold and heartless, unemotional reptiles with no thought of love.
That's what I've got as well, yeah.
Compassion or human emotions or sentiment.
They have to fake those.
Those are emotions they have to learn to fake, and they take over a human's body so they can blend into society as a human. So they're saying that this does go into Donald Marshall really well. Mm-hmm. I'll probably jump into him next. I probably would say. I don't know if you've read anything about him, but that guy is on another level. But it kind of reminds me of Men in Black. These emotional beings that this is what I thought when I read it. Mm-hmm. So like the reports of the Men in Black are bald, emotional alien beings that
emotionless,
and they're controlling humanity to their nefarious agenda.
Which is like the original Men in Black was supposed to be like aliens in human skin suits.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever anyone says Men in Black are completely emotionless, just doing whatever they
clean up the site, get rid of the evidence, we're off.
No emotion whatsoever.
Never left it.
Yeah, exactly. So this all seems like a massive sci-fi trope all being brought into one place and gone, let's pick the best of the best and create this amazing narrative of like.
Yeah, but I will point out that the best sci-fi is always grounded in reality. So I absolutely Stargate SG-1, like the TV series, I think one of the. In terms of lore and backstory and universe, but it's one of the best sci-fi series ever made, right?
Okay.
But it's based in reality, kind of, because it's everything we know about Egyptian mythology and then twisted to fit a sci-fi narrative.
There's loads of sci-fi that's got nothing to do with reality, though.
Yeah, I know, but there's always
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, Quantum Leap, Quantum Leap has that kind of, what if I could go back and do something? It ties like human emotion. If I could go back and change that event, how different would my life be? We always have that what if moments in our life.
Yeah, but the technology doesn't exist.
No, but what I'm saying is that kernel of truth makes a good sci-fi. So everybody has a what if moment. What if I'd have gone back and done that? What if I'd have asked that girl like how different would my life have been? What if I'd have said no to this job?
Yeah,
how different would my life have been? You know.
I suppose. Okay.
And that's the kernel of truth that Quantum Leap's built on. Stargate takes ancient Egyptian mythology and is a kernel of truth and builds off that and does a great deal. But the point I'll make, right, is point out, so when you look for a kernel of truth or a bit of reality, we're saying this snake that goes in the eyes of parasites sounds ridiculous and... Right? The web-slinging wasp, the jewel wasp, and the lancet liver fluke, the Euphlocoris californiensis...
What?
Euphlocoris californiensis?
So the Euphlocoris California, yeah.
And hairworms, right? As creatures that live that are parasites. There's a Toxoplasma gondii, which is found aplenty in cats.
I'm loving the fact that you tried to
That's it, yeah. Right? But Toxoplasma gondii are found in cats and can transfer to humans. These parasites actively affect the behaviour of its host in order to complete its reproductive cycle. Over 50% of people in developed nations believe in extraterrestrials, and they are extraterrestrials with to assume that some of them may not be benevolent in themselves. So we have parasites on Earth.
Yeah.
That go through, like, I think cats can track it through the eye.
Yeah.
And there's a cat that can transfer from cats to humans. So where are you going? This snake, this 20 inches long snake that goes down the throat because that's fucking sci-fi bullshit.
Can we talk Donald Marshall now then?
Yeah. I've not got anything on Donald Marshall, to be fair. I did read a bit about it and just went, this is fucking crazy. Right. I thought Donald Marshall we were going down Randy Kramer route and I didn't want you to fucking give me a black eye.
So, well, Donald Marshall, I'm sure plenty of people on here who are watching this video, because it's on Black Eye Club, recognise who Donald Marshall is. You're going to need to give me some time. You're going to need to let me talk for a little bit, because ultimately I've taken, he released a letter. No one had ever heard of him before, and he came out with this big letter, and I'm going to read a big chunk of it. Not all of it, because it was fucking massive, right? And it wasn't in the best of English, but I'm going to read it. A lot of it. I'm going to let the camera view your face as I'm reading it. And I love... It's the perfect start for any video when you want someone to believe you. Okay? I'm going to read the first line. This is no hoax! This is no joke! Right, that's the first line.
Well, you've got me believing, pal!
That's the first fucking line. This is not a hoax. This is not a drill.
The only time you pay attention to, you give anything like that serious attention is when, you know, your TV switched to emergency broadcast and goes, this is not a test.
Exactly, and then the fucking air raid siren goes off.
Yeah, because this is not a test. Alright, I believe you. Like, this is not a hoax. Why you have to say that is give me doubt straight from the fucking start, mate.
So
you're going like, I'm not lying, but let me tell you this story. Well, I didn't think you were lying in the first place, but now I fucking do, pal.
You should have told me and gone, I know you might have doubts, but I've got fucking, you know, at the end of it you talk about the doubts.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, before I read it, I'm going to say, this has got so many conspiracy theories intertwined that it's fucking mind-blowing bollocks, right?
Right.
It's fucking crazy. So, I'm sorry people
We're
might
going full Randy Kramer, aren't we?
Apart from, people keep referencing this guy.
Yeah, I know people mention. Yeah,
so it's important to say.
It is, yeah. But I looked at him and just went, because Cherie mentions him and Cherie Schreiner mentions him, and I looked at it and just went, if I bring this up, I don't think Craig's got over Randy Kramer yet. If I bring this up, he's going to fucking go up there. So I didn't research him that much.
So I'm going to bring him up as people believe. Pete, genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
I know Reddit's not a source of truth.
No.
Go on there. Any board where this has been posted, there's hundreds of people reporting going,
This guy's legit. This guy, yeah, I knew this. He's confirming. Is it confirmational bias? He's just going. I always thought this, and he's saying exactly what I thought. I knew this all along.
What is the best lie? The best lie is the one that's got a source of truth in there that you can go. Yeah. I know that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know that's true, I can't debunk it.
If I know that A and B are true, C must be true as well.
Or it could be true.
Yeah.
Right. And this is laced with it.
Or it's A and B are true, therefore D must be true because the government are hiding C from us.
If you believe A and B are true, C and D might not. It's a logical leap, but it could be true because I can verify A and B. This is laced with it. So I'm gonna just go through some of it. I'm not reading the whole thing. And I'm not even copied the whole thing, I've just copied the most important things. Okay, so this is no hoax, this is no joke. Start that. My name is Donald Marshall. I have been cloned by a large secretive cult known as the Freemasons and the Vril Society and Scientologists, which is what I quoted from before, called the ALEuminati. They make replicated bodies of people to victimise in terrible ways. They clone children for men with underdeveloped penises to have sex with.
Right, so paedophilia isn't a sick mental illness and completely damaging and traumatising to young people's lives. It's just, I've got a small dick and I can't satisfy a woman, therefore I need a small child.
And then make a clone.
And then make a clone of them for them.
Yeah.
Right, that's convenient.
So there's a lot of notes in here that I haven't had. And
Does Donald Marshall have a small dick?
I've never looked.
I'm just wondering if he's making excuses for his paedophilia.
He's on Google, you can check him out. They make replicated bodies of people to victimise in terrible ways. They clone children for men with underdeveloped penises to have sex with. Some very famous and politically powerful people all getting together for a disgusting time.
Epstein? Yep.
The political people start bringing movie stars and musicians there. It's basically a torture and child molesting factory, and he was one of those children. So he's saying it from a victim standpoint. Right,
so, I mean, we know Epstein existed, we know what his island was, we know his plane was called the Lolita Express, we know the rich and powerful went there, like Bill Clinton and a lot more president were going there and stuff, so, he's got my attention at the moment. The fact he was I'd say now, before you go any further, I'd say now that, I don't doubt he was a victim, I don't doubt that trauma presented itself as a story like I'm a clone, I'm not human, I'm not a real human, this is why it was done to me, rather than what did I do to deserve this, why was this done to me, it's...
I may see you backtracking on this in about 5 seconds.
Right, okay, so I'm just explaining my thought process as we go along. Yeah.
There's a chance I might backtrack on that as we get further down the line. Another part of it is they smashed my face to start with, throwing me around, scaring me as a 5-year-old, never letting me remember in real life until I turned 30. So they suppressed memories. So these memories were suppressed until I was 30.
Right, so this is going down my thinking that something traumatic's happened to him, like child abuse, and he's repressed those memories. As those memories have come out, he's concocted a story around him being a clone, and
he gets into he'll get into his clone thing soon. Right.
I'm just saying, like the clone thing at the moment sounds like a defense mechanism. Like, people wouldn't do this to a human. Why would people do this to a human being? I'm not a human being. That's why they've done it to me. I'm a clone. So it's kind of a defense mechanism to his trauma.
Okay. Well,
that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Because I read to the end, and
you know different. Alright, yeah. So I'm just explaining my thought process.
On your thought process.
Yeah. Go on.
All I'm going to say to is, don't use logic for your thought process for this story, okay? Because you are going to fall over.
Go on then.
So
let's go.
Don't think of logic. At 30, they allowed me to remember these clone memories. Oh no, sorry, I missed that. So let me read this.
Yeah, they won't let me remember till he was 30.
They smashed my face to start with, throwing me around, scaring a 5-year-old, let me never remember anything until I turned 30. The torture worsened until I was stabbed and burned and repeatedly sodomized. At 30, they allowed me to remember these clone memories, and every time I enter REM, I am there. I don't have dreams, I only have clone memories. They made the movie The Island and Inception about this subject. They think they're very sly and untouchable. What he's saying is, he has got a clone body, and when he goes into REM, and he falls asleep in this body, his other body, with all his consciousness...
His consciousness connects to his other body.
Yes.
So what he's saying is that he's not Donald Marshall. Donald Marshall's in a cell somewhere.
There's 2 of him.
And there could be 20 Donald Marshall. There could be a 5-year-old Donald Marshall today. Because they just get... Once that child gets old, they talk to that child to a certain age, and then right, 30, let him remember, no, fuck him off, right? We're going to get another 5-year-old clone off the original. So they're just constantly cloning him. So when he goes to sleep as a clone, his consciousness is attaching to the real body.
As soon as he REMs, he's
Yeah.
in that other body.
Yeah.
And so they sit there in the stands of an unused arena, smaller than a hockey rink. It can still seat between 300 and 400 people. It's got dirt in the centre. They have frightened clones of children going to the middle to be victimised for a bizarre, disgusting spectacle, sometimes having animals like dogs have sex with them while a man holds a leash so it won't bite them on the back of the neck, which I've seen happen before. The ringleader is Queen Elizabeth, Philip, and Prince Charles. They're the worst, they're the most depraved. Now, this is David Icke again.
Yeah, this is David Icke, the royal family, Elizabeth people.
And about the Elizabeth actually being the tip of the spear is the highest of all.
Yeah.
Elizabeth had the children call her Illibet and does ungodly things to them.
You mean Lilibet?
Lilibet, yeah.
Yeah, Joe, that is actually the Queen's nickname.
Is it?
Yeah, it's because
No, I didn't even know that, so. Lilibet, yeah, I can't remember.
I think one of her sisters or one of her brothers or something couldn't say Elizabeth when they were younger, when they were kids, so they called her Lilibet because they couldn't say Elizabeth.
Right, okay.
It's like
Good knowledge.
yeah, it's like my when my father is passed now, bless him, but my son's uncle Richard, we all called him Titch, and everyone thought it was because he was like 6'5", and we called him Titch because his sister couldn't say Richard, so she said Titchard.
Ah, right, okay.
And it became Titch. So that's Lilibet is actually Queen Elizabeth II's family nickname because it'd be it'd be Princess Anne, who's younger than her sister. Yeah.
Isn't that a daughter?
Her daughter, is that a daughter? Yeah, it's a daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah. And one of her sisters, or one of her offspring, anyway, couldn't say Elizabeth, so they said Lilibet instead of Elizabeth, and that name stuck with her for decades.
Good knowledge, Badger. The Canadian Intelligence Agency are also involved.
Can I have an intelligence agents? What they're called Mounties.
Called the CSIS by helicopter. Where are the Mounties? So this includes a lot of commissionaries and the Prime Minister Steve Harper himself. So he name dropped a particular person.
Right, yeah.
Not me. Wasn't me.
No, this is it. We are recounting a story, not making accusations.
Steve Harper, he was not.
And as the before everyone kicks off, that's why we have the disclaimer at the beginning of every episode. Like, this is not us making aspersions. This is widely researched online.
Whew. Right then, they do what Elizabeth says, being part of the Commonwealth, of course. They follow every whim without question. It doesn't matter who you are. If you've got a cute child or a child with a money-making ability like song-making, they will clone your child. They will molest them. It's a paedophile paradise.
So is that kind of like you've got some child star?
Yep.
I don't know, some Britney Spears, some Emma Watson, someone who's going to be like, 18, 19-year-old megastar.
Yeah.
But everyone's going to want to be them and look like them or want them, kind of like me. So it's like, well, while the world wants them, we get to have the clone. We're going to clone her so we get to have her.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? She can go out there and sing and be Britney Spears, but we've got a little Britney clone, so the world wants to fuck Britney Spears, but we actually can because we've got the little Britney clone.
The idea of being of a clone is it's an identical replication. So if this particular person's got this ability, they can fucking milk that ability for whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because this guy also says, whilst I've not got it here, and I'm not going to bring it up on my notes, he says that he's responsible for hundreds of mega hits. That he was one of these guys who had this fucking brilliant ability to write a fucking song.
Like a songwriter.
And loads of hits that are in the charts are to do with him.
Is it like Aiken and Waterhouse, is it? In the 80s or something, in the 90s and...
Well, he said he started singing when he was young, because it was like, it's a way of dealing with the fucking torment. People were like, that's fucking brilliant. Started ripping him off to make songs, and then when he started fucking running out, they just started fucking him again. So they left him alone, and then as soon
While
as
they were making them money, they left him alone, and then when he stopped making them money,
they started going.
Started again. Yeah, you've outlived your usefulness. We'll find another for you.
So what he did say this, and this is where we're saying he's tying things into real life, because this happened. One good person there was Bernie Mac. great comedian.
Yeah.
He tried to stand up for me, speak up for me, saying this is not a human thing to do. He tried to get others to speak out about all the clones, so I don't know what the fuck he was doing there to start with.
Yeah, well, why is Bernie Mac there in the first place? Like, you don't get invited to that party unless you're part of that, you like those people.
I don't remember him having a black eye, but you know. Elizabeth and Philip had him tortured so badly of their power, he had an aneurysm the next day. And this was like, don't fucking stand up to us because this is what's going to happen.
This is what happens to you, yeah.
So instead of being Clinton, it's now you've been
Lizard.
Now he's saying nobody will speak up because they all fucking know their fate.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to go, oh, well, yeah, Bernie Mac was there and he got punished by Lizard and he tortured that much that he had an aneurysm the next day. Like, well, that's just...
Absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
That happened. Bernie Mac had I'm assuming he had an aneurysm and ended up in hospital. But if that's what happened to him, then you're just writing a story to fit. You're writing a narrative to fit the facts.
And this is going to fit into another video that we've released at some point. Elizabeth had Princess Diana Spencer killed by having someone shine the brightest light known to mankind through the window, which we debunked.
Yeah.
They swerved and hit the driver. There was no paparazzi. So it says here that goes against our synopsis, by the way. So his synopsis of that whole thing is Diana survived and on the way to hospital was injected with a high concentrate of salt, which is completely undetectable. They did this because Diana was going to marry an Arab. Diana hated them and knew all about what the things that they were doing, all about this big fucking cult and stuff they were in, and had to go. That's why she died.
Right. Yeah, watch our Diana episode. That's all I would say on that.
Yeah. He said another deplorable thing they were talking about was the Canadian government was trying to lower the amount of prostitutes on the street because Elizabeth hates them. She hates prostitutes by all accounts. So they had a man called...
Someone who's involved in a sex culture hates sex workers.
It's because it's not her getting the fucking money. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
But, again, he's named up some people here. So he said they had a man called Robert Picton start killing them and feeding them to pigs on his farm, which kind of sounds like Snatch.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't that a Cray thing?
Yeah.
There was a guy called the Crays where they used to feed their victims to... I'm sure it was the Crays or some London gangster. I know it's definitely in Snatch. But the guy's in Snatch because it's... I don't know if it's actually true or it's an urban myth. Like an urban legend that the Crays used to feed their victims to... They had something that said it to...
It could have been an urban myth.
Feed them to pigs. I don't know if it was like an urban myth to keep people in line. Like you're going to get fed to pigs. Like the mafia thing, like you'll swim with the fishes.
Yeah.
The East End London thing where you'll get fed to the pigs.
Yeah.
Because like a pig... It's like a pig can devour a human body completely or something like that. Yeah, anyway.
Oh, they can eat it all and digest it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this guy called Robert Picton started killing them, feeding them to the pigs on his pig farm. They had a camera set up in the corner of the room. And so when he used to hit the prostitutes in the head to kill them, because, and I quote, Elizabeth was watching it.
Right.
But getting back to the point, so he's just talking about these are the fucking people we're dealing with. But what he's then saying is regarding Shelley was on about cloning people, about this that, and the other. So the aliens are a clone of people and people. So he's saying about clones. I must add, they clone people from all walks of life, chain them down to steel corpses, tables, and drug them so they can't move. Send people into... So he's now talking about alien abduction here. About how this is the real truth of alien abduction. This is coming next.
So he's saying he's a clone, but his original body is strapped down to a steel table by aliens. And they've sent the clone out into the world.
No. He's telling you now, there's no such thing as alien abduction, and this is what it really is. So what I'm saying to you is trying to tie everything together in a big story.
Right.
This is all down to cloning and Elizabeth and all this sort of stuff. They clone people from all walks of life. They chain them down to steel corpse tables, drug them so they can't move. Send people in the room dressed as aliens with Hollywood quality makeup, so they think they're having an alien abduction.
Right.
They even dye chicken skin grey and stretch it over for realism. and perform experiments. And the video record that. So he's saying alien abduction is that. This process is related to also the Eye of Horus. So the Eye of Horus, which we talked
about earlier,
is you've got the eye, you've got the line underneath the eye, and what he's saying is the line underneath the eye is not the line we've got under our eye. It's actually a quill, because the quill is actually attached to a demon reptilian. The quill unravels, enters through the host's eye, the quill travels through to the pineal gland, and then a demon spirit enters the hosts and takes up residence in the human body. The human's already sold his soul, so it's merely a mea culpa. The human is now demonically possessed as it enters the eye, and you get a bruising. So he's going on about that.
All I've got is this. It's not Edgar. It's in an Edgar suit.
When in black shit. It's
not Edgar. It's in an Edgar suit.
Oh, is that better?
Sorry.
Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio, yeah. I just love the way his wife, and I can't remember who actually plays his wife, was just sat there so deadpan, like, it wasn't Edgar. It was an Edgar suit.
Can I ask for sugar? So he's saying there that. So what Daniel Marshall says is the eye is your body can taken over by this reptilian race, the Vril, effectively, and that the Eye of Horus is showing you a true. They talk about the pineal gland in ancient Egypt, and they show you the Eye of Horus, because the eye is where this thing that Shelley was talking about, the soul scalping, that's actually where it goes into the eye. And in the Egyptian times, they used to just leave the tail hanging out, because it used to be like a sign of
a sign that you were part, because you all knew. So if you had this tail hanging out, you were.
But now it goes in and leaves you with a black eye instead. So your soul scalping, the cloning, the takeover, it's all part of this ritual. But also what Donald Marshall was talking about is that he's got his own website, by the way. And one part of it is called The Secret of the Vril. So, before we talk about The Secret of the Vril, because we talked about the Vril before.
Yeah, we've talked about that in Hollow Earth and Hit with South America.
So, I'm just saying, Donald Marshall, before he talks about, because he now starts to go on to the thing that tries to back Shelley up in regards to the Vril and reptilians. He's got the next phase of his story is about to hit.
He's gone into Act 2.
Yeah, but his first act is, I'm a clone, Elizabeth is evil, they've got all this thing that's being set up regarding my consciousness is separate to my body, so I've got a clone of me, and when I go to sleep...
You got the real me. Yeah.
Yes, and that real me is getting fucking molested and all sorts of stuff, and as soon as I wake up, that body goes limp, and my consciousness will come back to me.
Right.
Then I can live my life. And people don't... And he's saying, this is what's happening, these kids getting fucking molested left, right and centre, the elite are all into it. Which, when I listen to all that story, now, either something really bad's happened to him and he's...
Yeah, it does sound like it's some traumatic experience, this kind of psychological defence mechanism that's made up stuff, like if... And this is a horrible thing, but it's where the human mind works, is that when people are abused, whether that be sexual or domestic or mental or whatever, they always ask why me. They make excuses like, why me? I deserve this. This is what I did to deserve it.
Yeah.
If he's been abused at such an early age, at such a horrific level, it's saying like they burnt me and stuff. It makes me think like some fucking evil stepdad or uncle putting cigs out on him or something, rather than branding him and torturing him. But it's just escalated it in his retelling. But you always go, why would someone do this to someone? What have I done to deserve this?
Yeah.
And you try to find humanity. You try to reason to the humanity in the person. Like, look, I'm a human being like you. Why would you do this to another human?
Yeah.
And I think he's tried reasoning with his abuser and just gone, I'm not human, that's why I can do it. No human being would do this to another human being. That means I must not be human.
Correct, yeah. I thought of that too.
And he's come up with this clone story and stuff, and then seeing other stuff online with, like, you know, there's
David Icke talking about the Queen.
David Icke talking about the Queen and stuff. I think there's a story of the Queen I want to cover in a future episode at some point, of Prince Philip and the Queen visiting an orphanage.
And
I think it's an orphanage in Canada and all the kids disappear.
They raised a legal case against her as well.
Yeah, I think that were in Canada, wasn't it, as well?
I think so, because they brought a case against the Queen, but you can't.
Can't bring a case against the Queen, yeah.
You can't go to the Queen. You can't arrest the Queen.
No.
So you can't in the UK. You can't bring a legal case against.
But I'm saying that's an episode I want to cover later.
Yeah,
It's quite a deep and dark story.
But there's so many kids who went missing on her watch.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, so he's
allegedly.
Yeah, I think, you know, that story says that the Queen did this and catched all these kids in Canada. Is he had this, and I truly believe he's had some horrific traumatic experience.
I think so.
And his brain, to cope with it, his brain has made this story that he's a clone, and because no human would do this to another human being, so therefore he must not be human. And then he's seen this story on the internet about the Queen in Canada at this orphanage, and gone, well, the Queen must have been part of me being cloned, and he's just kind of taken bits from everywhere and put them together to make his story.
Or alternatively, it might not be insidious in any way, shape or form.
I don't think for a second it's insidious. I think it's a lot of not mental illness, but mental anguish. I suppose mental illness, but mental anguish, dealing with an horrific thing that's happened to him. But out of that mental illness, that mental anguish, comes confirmation bias. Like, you know, I was cloned, and I was cloned, and they took me away, and they've done all these horrible things to me. And then sees a story about Queen and Philip at an orphanage in Canada. I must have been in that orphanage. Elizabeth must have done this to me. And then if he believes that, he truly believes that, then he gets, oh well, Lizzie were there watching this, Lizzie were there watching that, because it buys into his story, and it's not like he's lying to you he's not lying to you to get you to believe it.
It's his coping mechanism.
It's his coping mechanism. He's lying to himself because that's what he needs to do to survive.
I mean, if I try to extend on that a little bit, I suppose it's a case of, I don't know why he's latched into the royal family, but
I just think it's just because he's seen that story about the orphanage. He's seen David Icke say the lizard people.
Yeah.
Pulled them in to what narrative his mind's spinning to cope with, and it just kind of sits in and goes.
And that's why Princess Diana was brought into it, going, let's extend on that. So.
Oh, she must have. No. A lot. We said in our episode, most of the country thought she was killed for different reasons. Some thought because Muslims, some thought she was pregnant, some thought because Camilla wanted to be queen.
It's because of this.
And they've got, so if an overwhelming opinion is that the royal family killed Diana, and he goes, she must have known.
Yeah.
So if the royal family, and he goes, the royal family killed Diana. Oh, I wonder why the royal family killed Diana. Well, she must have known what I know. Shit, I must be next. And, you know, it just buys it. It's that. What I'm saying is, he's not lying intentionally. It's his confirmation bias through his mental anguish.
It's weird though.
It's causing this narrative.
Do you know the one thing that when I read this, I thought it's really weird? It's just the Bernie Mac reference. Like,
yeah, the Bernie Mac one don't fit at all.
It's like, where did that come from? Because I've not read all of it, right? He drops loads of celebrity
but
names.
I'm just wondering if this was, like I say, he's building that narrative in his head as a coping mechanism. He's seen the David Icke, he's seen the Queen Elizabeth with the orphanage thing. That built into his narrative, so Elizabeth must have been there. And he's building that narrative. Diana dies. Oh well, everyone thinks the royal family killed her because she knows what I know. Yeah. That's why they killed her. And is it a case like Bernie Mac has an aneurysm? Like, I don't know the story. I don't know if he had or not. But let's just say I'm flying by the seats of my pants here.
You've never heard of it before.
Yeah, but let's say it turns on the news one day. Bernie Mac, beloved comedian. Everyone fucking loves Bernie Mac. He's had an aneurysm.
I thought he died of pneumonia, but now I'm thinking about it. But anyway.
But he's had an aneurysm.
I'm gonna check.
Comes up news, he's had an aneurysm. Fucking hell, they've got to him. He were there, he were nice to me. They fucking got to. So it's just he's just seeing things on the news and his confirmation bias is pulling in.
I'm gonna have a look now to see what he died of.
Bernie Mac the same guy I'm thinking of. Let's look at his picture.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, he's the same guy I'm thinking of.
So what did he actually? Health problems, illness, and death. he suffered from sarcoidosis, a form of disease of unknown origin. It attacked his lungs. Yeah, he died of pneumonia, complications with pneumonia. So, well, that was his explanation.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if he's building this narrative, like Bernie Mac's is really out of place in there, but everyone loves Bernie Mac. They've got to him as well. You see, Twitch's news on Bernie Mac. They've got to him as well. He want pneumonia, wearing aneurysm, the torch. But you can't put Bernie Mac in this because everyone loves Bernie Mac. No, Bernie Mac was nice to me.
Yeah.
He was nice to me. He's the nice one there.
Some of the people that I've not wrote down though, but when I read,
Yeah.
he said talked about ALEuminati, who came in and fucking stabbed him, and that she was really fucking nasty to him. And who's the guy who's married? Oh, man, fuck's sake, right? Who's the guy married to Goldie Hawn? Who did?
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, and Kurt Russell came and he's like, "Don't mention us," and he goes, "Oh, I'm fucking mention you," because he was nice to him. He goes, "I'm going to mention you anyway." He literally name dropped half of Hollywood.
Yeah, but is he just name dropping because he's seen news stories?
Well, this is the thing.
That's what I'm saying. He sounds like a mental. I don't want to say mental illness, but it is a mental illness, I suppose. But it sounds like mental anguish wrapping up as a coping mechanism. As a coping mechanism, he's built this narrative from news stories as a coping mechanism, and it continues to this day. You know,
he did say something like, "You'll have to read the whole thing."
Yeah.
But he did also say something like, "You'll see a picture of me to prove them a clone from a decade ago. I'm on the cover album of either a Megadeth or a Metallica cover album, and my picture's not changed. I'm a clone. My body's exactly the same." It could be someone who looks just like him.
Yeah.
You know, he's got long hair, looks Jesus-like. You know,
They
called him Jesus. They called him. Some of the Jews were saying it was like because he's so influential. His things that he's going. The thing that the narrative I see from this a lot is I couldn't read the whole thing.
No, it's too long.
But
yeah.
one of the things to see is he was saying, "I did so much good that people stole off me and created all this wonderful art and wonderful music and so on. But at the same time, I'm being abused." And so he's like, that's his Jekyll and Hyde scenario. I'm being abused. I'm creating this clone scenario because I can't cope. But I am so expressive that people stole everything from me. Why am I in this position?
Yeah, it's that fucking. I don't know. I feel uncomfortable with this because I don't want to rip the piss out of him because I do genuinely feel for the guy. It's not like this guy's batshit crazy and chatting bollocks. It's like this guy needs help. I'm not going to take the piss out of him because.
We shouldn't.
No, this guy needs a lot of fucking help. But it's like that guy down the fucking pub. There's always one guy down the pub when you've done something, he's done something better than you.
Oh yeah, one-upping you all the time.
You know, and it's like, oh yeah, I fucking sat on last night with Mrs. Sat down, you know, glass of Bailey's, nice got Christmas mood yesterday, glass of Bailey's and Bing Crosby White Christmas playing, open fire, alright, well lovely. It's like, oh, you know, I wrote White Christmas, Bing Crosby stole it off me.
Well,
you know, and it's that like, you know, it's that kind of thing that, well, you know, if you wrote it, prove it. I can't prove it. He stole it. It's his name all over it now. So it just seems like that pub bullshitter, but put to a lot of mental anguish. Like, I don't doubt for a second he's been sexually abused, and from an early age.
he said his parents said it didn't happen, and they've all disowned him. But that could be. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that could be. Don't get me wrong, saying shit like that. It's going to destroy fucking family lives. People are going to go, do you know what? You need help. And after about 2 or 3 years, it's going to go, I can't do this shit.
So,
I've got a wife. I've got kids.
yeah.
Can't keep having you turn up at 3 in the morning saying that the lizards are after you. I've got my own fucking life, man. You know. So yeah, people are going to cut him loose because people got their own shit to be getting on with.
Sorry, what it was called? One of Lizard the Lizard.
Lizard the lizard.
And I fucking broke up. I couldn't help it.
Lizard the lizard. She packed her pants and slopped her way to the throne room. Off she went.
That's the fucker. So badge.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We're gonna go on to. So we talked about Donald Marshall is quite a pivotal role in all this.
Yeah.
He's got a big website, but the other thing that people talk about, that's not just him, but he's got a big input into. We've got this Shelley woman Sherry
Sherry Shriner.
is the Vril. Now, we've had a really good discussion on Hollow Earth about the drill.
Yep, we did a fucking, I think we're a 3-hour show, one of our earliest ones, I think.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing
episode
about
4?
yeah, but the audio broke on that one, if you remember.
Oh shit, we never put it. Yeah,
No,
well,
we
it's up, but the audio's fucked.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. It's such a good
Such
show.
a good show.
So, but anyway, Marshall says those real lizards interacted with humans and have been interacting with humans for centuries.
Right.
And that they are, in the same as David Icke, they are heads of royalty, heads of state, religious leaders, and all of those are in power within religion.
Yeah.
And that the secret of the Vril doesn't always just it only refers to hiding lizards and denying their existence, but also refers to an even bigger secret, and that's a parasitic race. Vril lizards have a unique biology, a biological ability to invade the human body and take over the brain by accessing their memories. They can look, act, and seem human in every way. After a period of recovery, human is able to return to its normal activities, except the brain is now under the complete control of a Vril parasite. And the Vril parasite, you'll never guess how it gets there.
Watch Target SG1.
I'm going to talk about just a bit about what he says the Vril actually is.
Right, go on then.
I'll just talk a little bit. This is off his website. His website's massive, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not done this for any commercial.
No, it's just, yeah.
This is not for commercial use whatsoever, clearly. He's not making money off this in the slightest. Now, this might interest you, because this ties into the Horus scenario.
Right, go on then.
But he said, according to Marshall, Vril lizards have a natural proboscis at the top of their head, from which they eject a type of thick cerebrospinal.
This is what Cherie Schreiner said earlier.
Apart from this, he says they send a fluid rather than a worm.
Right.
The fluid enters a human usually through the eye and there to the brain, and a chemical transformation immediately begins to take place. The victim essentially dies, leaving the lizard parasite in complete control of all brain function.
This is a zombie ant I was talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually it takes over and then the human takes control. So the way she's saying it's similar, that she says it's a worm that wiggles in.
He's saying it's a fluid that's a chemical.
And it gives you the black eye.
Right.
He said, Marshall reports that the Illuminati even hold a special body snatching ceremony to celebrate the Vril lizard takeover. Guests watch as the victim, conscious, bound, is restrained and forced to sit still until the lizard transfer is complete.
But yeah, we said, they even have a whole ceremony to celebrate it. Yeah, going back to what I know, I said Stargate, that's what they decided, but going back to, we're saying rituals in day-to-day life, like marriage and stuff. We have bar mitzvahs, we have 18th birthdays, 21st birthdays. The ritual.
Yeah. It's a man-made ritual, but yeah, of course.
Yeah, but it's still ritual. It's like, even when, they even celebrate when they have a ceremony to celebrate when a Vril takes over a human host. We have those ceremonies all the time. Well, not take up, but 18, 60, 18 birthdays, you're no longer a kid now, you're a man now. You know that thing where not for us because we grew up in a different age, but like with my kid, if we're taking, I've got next year, I'm going to do it again next year, taking my son to the pub for the first time for a pint.
You do it at 7, right?
Pardon?
You do it at 7 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah.
right?
We can't now with our kids now. We did in our generation, but we can't now. But
no one's looking to have a pint.
But no, I've had a pint at the pub with my son before. Like no one's looking. Have a fucking pint. Like I've had a drink at home with him. We drink at home together, right? But our ritual's a little bit different. So when he turns 18, we'll go out to the pub, and the first pint at the pub with my 18-year-old son, he buys me.
Lucky bastard.
Because he can buy a pint. Because it's like he's like, I have a pint. No one's watching. Or like some pubs, they don't care. It's fine. It's all right. But when he's 18, he can legally go buy a pint. So he buys.
We're not going to tell him what pub it is, so don't lose our license.
Yeah. But 18, he'll go buy me a pint, and that's but that's a ritual thing. That's him going. No, my dad buys a beer. Dad's buy a beer. I'm a man now. I buy you a beer, and it's that kind of passing of the torch ritual kind of thing. But yeah, they even have ceremonies to celebrate it. And some of that I mentioned. If you're a parasite, and you get in a human body. you would have a ritual around it. We have rituals for turning 18, we have rituals for getting married and...
I should be talking, I've been reading.
Right.
And from what you told me about this being Stargate, the whole thing sounds like Stargate.
It's a Stargate, go on. Fly through it, go on.
So it's crucial to understand the Vril lizard psychology. Since Marshall maintains that the Vril lizards want to be human, they admire human intelligence and the beautiful human form, they want to crawl out of the deep underground into the light and walk unnoticed amongst humanity. However, they are not human and have no capacity to feel human emotions. In fact, as malevolent lizards, they enjoy causing pain and suffering. And Marshall reveals that the Vril hosts are responsible for much of the senseless crimes and spree killings that occur, and that's exactly what was in the book before. About those little fucking demons underneath the earth that just had the technology.
Tenor?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's from a different book.
Yeah.
So he's just read both of those. The Hollow Earth, basically. He's gone down Hollow Earth. He thought
He's read that guy's. I can't remember the guy's name now. It was on about the Tenor and the
Terror and
Terror and the Deno.
Terror and the Darrow.
Terror and the Darrow. Yeah.
And but you've got this ancient goblin
I
like
can remember
thing.
facts from.
He was a hologram guy.
Yeah, he was a hologram guy. Yeah.
So
I can remember shit from like nearly a year ago.
so he was the guy who said he witnessed a hologram, an angel hologram.
Yeah, and the Deno are the ones that make us do. We were about Skywalker Ranch and shit like that.
He went into the door in the hills and got taken underground, and then he recognised the Darrow, and someone.
Sorry, not Skywalker Ranch, Skinwalker Ranch, is it?
Not Skinwalker, yeah.
Skinwalker Ranch, yeah.
And then Terror. So go back and watch the anyway.
So basically, he's read the book we talked about in Hollow Earth. He's read that, and he's watched quite a bit of Stargate.
Yeah. And he said, Marshall asserts that Vril lizards often infiltrate human society by targeting individuals in the ruling class, royalty or priesthoods. Again, David Icke talked about that.
Yeah.
As gods, Vril lizards would demand human sacrifices of a show of loyalty and devotion in ancient Egypt. They showed lizard faces in ancient Egypt. So he also says, so Vril lizards are classed as gods, but in the next thing he says, they're also seen as demons. So it says, as demons, they were deeply feared. Old legends warned travellers against going into certain haunted caves and mountains and to beware when darkness falls, because that's when the demons would crawl out. And we talked about that massively.
So, are they gods who enslave humanity and control our political elite, or the demons that hide in fucking caves?
It depends on the culture, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, alright, yeah.
And many cultures around the world attempted to limit the Vril's infestation. And at some point, so it said the Hopi Indian culture successfully drove off the lizards, while the ancient Anasazi Indians in New Mexico were forced to leave behind their elaborate cliff dwellings to relocate because of their Vril infestation.
Right, so he's just tying mythology, like cultural mythology into things now.
And now he's going into the fucking Nazis that we're talking about next.
I can never, I need to remember because we mentioned it a few times. I can remember the name of it, but it's the Vashna. I'm not sure. Maybe I apologise to any of you if I've got it wrong, but there's a bit in Hindu theology where they
fly spaceships.
They fly spaceships and they fight a war in the sky. They take the Vashna.
Yeah. The Vishnu or something. Yeah.
Something like that. So he's taken that story anyway, and then there's in America there's the abandoned canyon city. So it's just an entire village carved into the side of a cliff face, like.
Yeah, in Turkey was that?
No, I think it was in America as well.
Oh, right, it might be because they found a massive underground city in Turkey, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, I've been to one in Poland as well, but that's there for a different reason. But that was like in the salt mines, and went so far down, they just built the fucking town into rock face halfway down the mines because it took too long to get up and down. So they just lived in there. Yeah, in America, I think in America, I'm trying to remember where it is, but there's a cliff face with just, I can see it in my head, it's orange rock face, kind of like same colour as the Grand Canyon, and there's just like in the rock face, there's just houses carved out of the rock face.
Right, okay.
Right.
I know what you mean, actually.
And it's just completely abandoned, and no one knows who lived there or why it was abandoned. But he's gone, oh yeah, no one knows why. I do, Vril. And it seems like he just I'll take that, that's Vril. That's Vril. That's Vril.
There's two more exactly like that right now. So, in the 1940s, a secret pact was forged between the Nazis and the lizards, making them mutual allies. Conditions of the pact required directing tremendous resources to assist the real lizards, including the building of a deep underground military
base!
world axis.
Another future episode coming up.
They would allow the lizards a way to interact directly with humans, which would permit the massive government-sponsored body snatching so prevalent around the world today. And then he says, President Ronald Reagan tried to warn the public on numerous occasions from 1985 to 1988 in an important speech to the United Nations on the 21st of September 1987.
I feel like I know what that speech is.
And he said, in our obsession with the antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unity are all members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognise our common bond. I occasionally think...
It's Reagan's extraterrestrial speech.
Yeah, about war. Ultimately, he has just gone...
Depending what school of thought you applied to, outside of Reagan's extraterrestrial speech or Reagan's disclosure speech.
Yeah, exactly.
It's known as,
But he has just gone on about... I know we talked about Vril here for ages.
No, but he's just gone Stargate, Dolce Base, David Icke.
And I could put all this together.
Yeah.
Easily. But ultimately what he's saying is all these fucking demons and Vril lizards going through the eye. You get the black eye because of they can go in through the eye by some sort of liquid, and it gives you this black eye. So long and a round way of talking about this guy because everyone keeps pointing to him.
Yeah.
So many people.
He's the source.
He holds this theory up.
Yeah. He's the whistleblower in this. He's the pinnacle of it.
Yeah, so he's a clone. He's got this clone memories. His RNA goes back to his clone body, and he's also exposed that this is an ALEuminati.
He's our man on the inside.
It was the Freemasons. It was the Vril lizards. It was Scientology. Of all fucking random things to stick in there. They're all in on
Hollywood are involved in it, and that's why we've got shows like when you've watched a lot of Stargate. No, Stargate's just familiarising you to it so you're ready to accept it when it comes. And
so he bundled all of this together
mm-hmm.
with what's happened to him in the past, with Lizzie the Lizard, all the things that happened with all the Illuminati and the Masons and everything, with the Vril, took all this...
Basically, any conspiracy theory that's trending at the moment is taken
Lizard. But everyone keeps saying this is what happened to him. Now, you have to believe this happened to him for this to hold up.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. This is the end of all of it, but I think we've kind of come to the end of the Black Eye Club, really. But he is the big... I did warn you all we're going to go down some crazy fucking stupid mental rabbit hole. He is the kind of the linchpin to the crazy side.
Yeah, and if you discredit him, then you kind of discredit the entire thing.
Well, I don't think you can. Because the Illuminati scenario about...
Oh no, the Illuminati very... and the hierarchy. So this is...
But the Vril lizard takeover stuff.
Yeah, this is... I feel sorry for the guy. I genuinely feel uncomfortable about this because this is a guy who's hurting. This is a guy who needs help, and he's not going to be able to get help because he's going to go to you go to therapy to get help, and he's going to speak to one guy. He's going to have a one-on-one with his therapist, and possibly get on the edge of making some breakthrough and get some genuine help. And he's going to come home, switch his computer on, and talk to 10,000 people online who believe his story.
Yeah.
And who are you going to believe? 10,000 people or one person?
Now,
this poor guy's never going to get help.
Well, I think with this guy, so I'm not going to go on about debunking, but I want to specifically talk about Don Marshall. He's either one of a couple of things, isn't he? He's either a megalomaniac looking for attention,
egotistical narcissist.
Even that as well, yeah.
Not megalomaniac, because megalomaniac's after power.
Well, that's Trumpish, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, an egotistical narcissist. Yeah.
So
it's just like, I'm important. Please tell me I'm important.
Yeah, and looking for any known ability just to get some attention. Going, I have got this massive secret. Look at me. I can expose.
Like, these secrets come about as a coping mechanism.
What?
This starts about coping. That feels me right, and then
that's to you. Yeah.
Just it's starting to die down, and he's starting to lose followers again. Dolce Base starts trending as a conspiracy theory in certain circles online. Yet the Vrilla part of that, so it's like every time a conspiracy theory comes up, he ties it into him to make himself relevant again.
Well, the Dolce Base talked about alien lizards fighting humans and killing humans off, and some of the alien lizards got killed off. So he's tied anything that even sounds remotely like it into it. Like, you think he's got this mental illness that something's happened to him in the past. I think that this is just a massive elaborate story put together by a sci-fi guy. Yeah. Which is why he's talked about Scientology, which is why he dropped that in there, because he's looked at Elvin Hubbard and gone, he could look at the fucking stories that guy's produced.
It's just like he's thrown stuff at the wall and see what sticks.
Anything that's got to do with lizards of any kind that he can think is going to interlink.
He knows about it. I'm the man who knows. I'm the authority on this.
He's stuck it in there. Yeah. And he's literally just gone, what did David Icke say? I've heard him say stuff about the Queen. And Diana died
in
because
Canada,
of this.
and Diana died, and Dolce Base. And
let's tie it all together and create this big... So
I don't believe...
I don't believe him for a second.
No, I don't. It's one of those, I feel uncomfortable because I genuinely feel for the guy, like my heart's bleeding for him. Like, this is a guy who from what you've said today, I genuinely believe he were abused, and this is some coping mechanism for him being abused.
And I think the complete opposite.
But at the same time, it's just, I feel for him because he's not going to get help, because so many people online are saying they're buying into his story and believe his story, that it just keeps... I think it started off as a coping mechanism for abuse, and now it's just validation. People like me, people love me. So anything that comes up is going to tie into his elaborate story, because he gets more validation, he gets more... That's how people like him.
Do you know, originally, when I started reading about him, my first thought was something similar. But then, I've had preceding thoughts since then that said, you know, well, a succession of thoughts since then that said, I don't think that. I actually think all that happened is he posted, please believe me, please believe this massive elaborate story.
And people did.
And when people did, it's like, ooh.
Ooh, shit. Do you think it's a case of like...
Elaborate.
Or do you think like, shit. Like, we've all been there. We've all been at that moment in our lives where we tell a little white lie to get out of something. And then it kind of snowballs and you're like, fuck, I can't back out of this now. This is, it was just meant to be a little white lie to get me out of that, but now it's going to be people like...
You mean like Mary and Magdalene having a virgin birth?
Yeah, it's like...
Shit, it was God.
Yeah, it was God. Fuck, I have to stick with this now. Let me to birth a religion out of it. Fuck. Oh, bollocks, we're invading Israel on the third crusade.
For fuck's sake!
Again! I can't say I was lying now. You know what I mean? It's gone on too far. You know, we've all had that kind of thing, like where we've seen a little white lie, but you kind of get something where you're like, I can't come clean now. I was just trying to get out of work for that day, and now fucking Dave's in a disciplinary. Fuck. You know,
fucking hell, Jeff.
But you know, it's like we've all been in that kind of situation. You know what I'm talking about? So I wonder if it's a case of that where he's made this like, believe me. Like, people believe him. Like, fuck, I can't back down now. I've got to.
Maybe. I think people post so much shit on like 4chan and Reddit and all this sort of stuff, and they go, please believe me. So the first line I told you is, this is not a hoax. Please believe me.
Yeah.
That in itself should be a big fucking white flag.
It's a big red flag that goes, no.
You don't start with that.
Yeah.
Please believe me.
The only time you believe all like that is when this is not a test.
Yeah. Oh shit, there's a nuke. Oh, bollocks.
Yeah, you know. Oh, even if you don't work, when fire alarm goes off, it's Wednesday at 10 o'clock, it's fire alarm test. And then whoever's in charge of fire marshal at work will go, it's not a test! Oh, fuck, right.
As we speak, there's a big fucking fire behind your house.
You turn up like, there's a big fire going on. Is there?
Just behind your house now, there's a big fucking...
Well, it's not literally behind my house, it's about a mile away. It's about a mile away.
There's a big factory on fire, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a big factory on fire, motorway going in between us. We've got a fire break. There's a motorway between us, we're fine.
I'll wait for the alarm.
But no, this just seems like... Either way, whether you think it's me... Whether you agree with me that this is... A guy's gone through some massive trauma in his coping mechanism, or if people believe with you, it's just, either way, this is just...
This is a story.
Just a story. This is just attention. Whether it's a coping mechanism born from abuse, or whether it's
I can make something out of this.
Yeah, it's attention. This is one of those things, isn't it, where you go like, you know, and you go about 4chan and stuff, where they go like, oh, it's fucking 40-year-old just in the mum's basement. It's a 40-year-old guy in his mum's basement trying to be. He has fuck all in his life. He has no friends. He works in a fucking takeaway or something. Or he works in a fucking shitty shop. He works in Walmart. Lives in his mum's basement. He's 45 years old.
It's okay to work in Walmart.
No, what I'm saying is he has nothing in his life to feel proud of. So he has this online persona, this online thing that people like him for and people give him validation for. And that's... I think we spoke about him enough.
Yeah, but it was important to talk about him. And it was important.
It was because the Black Eye Club goes right back to him, but
outside of this and the real, I'm trying to think if I've got any. Oh, there's one more thing I have.
No, I got my claws in, and that's it.
I've got one more thing, and that's the adrenochrome.
Yeah, I did research this and look into this. Obviously, I know about adrenochrome previously. I didn't include it in this because I thought it was a really tenuous link. It was kind of like Donald Marshall, just like, oh, there's that conspiracy over here, let's talk on to this. So I didn't include it because I just thought that's some... adrenochrome's an episode in itself.
Okay, but very briefly, some people believe that the black eye is because of people harvesting adrenochrome. Now, adrenochrome was first brought about in 1952, 53, 54, something like that.
3, I think, yeah.
With Huxley. And he didn't even know about it, but he talked about there could be an adrenochrome compound.
Yeah, like he theorised about this compound.
This cactus, psychedelic cactus or something like that. But he said, I've not taken it, I don't know what it does, but it exists. And then what they recognised is that actually, adrenochrome, some theories claim that if you drain the blood of children in a certain age, the adrenochrome is a compound that you can harvest from the adrenal gland, but in children...
Yeah, once you get to a certain age, you stop producing adrenochrome. Yeah. So it has to be under a certain age.
Which links into the Queen, Canada, kids disappearing.
Orphanage, yeah.
But supposedly, I don't fucking know, I've never taken it myself, is one of the outputs is if you kind of overdose on this shit, you get a black eye.
But adrenochrome's never been proven to exist either.
I think it does. Adrenochrome, I think it does.
Not in the way to talk about harvesting from kids and...
Well, from a harvesting perspective, I don't think
it makes scientific sense. Again, like I said, I'm not going to do it, but so adrenochrome's going to be an episode in itself I think. Yeah. But you're right, it does tie into the, like, you produce it naturally at a certain age.
In the brain, yeah.
Then you stop producing, so it has to be children at a certain age that's sacrificed and...
Yeah.
Take adrenochrome, that's why, you know, Prince Philip, who recently died when 99 and in pretty decent health. Looked on at 98, he looked like most 70-year-olds.
And that's why all the royal family survived so really late. Is one of the snares. And like proper global elites, like Rockefellers and someone like fucking 90s. Everyone on those elites get to 90, which is like way a good 10 years. Over the average.
Yeah, the average expectancy in the UK is 80.1.
And these are 20 years after that.
Yeah.
And that's because of adrenochrome, and also blood transference with young people into their own blood. So it's a continuous blood transference to keep them young. But supposedly, adrenochrome, one of the outputs of one of the things with
if you take too much of it, you get a black eye.
Yeah. But adrenochrome is meant to be really insidious. It's a fucking children harvest camps and...
Yeah, this is why I say I want to make a full episode about... I don't want to talk too much about it because I want to do a full episode on that at some point in the future. But it's one of those where... Again, I've said a few times I'm going to cover that in a future episode. Just the reason we've not done yet is because they're quite dark episodes.
Yeah.
So we want to get some... We're trying to get that balance between light and dark. Well, we get followers in, and then we can hit you with a really fucking dark, meaty stuff.
But yeah, adrenochrome is one of those things. I don't know why it only affects one eye.
Yeah.
Why?
Do you inject it in the eye like Botox, or you know?
I don't know. Is it the pressure? Because that's one of the other things. That one of the other genuine things that we've not talked about. One of the other genuine biological things is stress. Right now, I had, and this is very, very soon. It wasn't quite a full black eye, but I had a swollen red eye. The eye was fucking swollen because the capillaries popped in my eyes, and that was 4 weeks ago. I woke up and it looked like somebody's fucking right up to me. Well, actually, I left up to me because it was in my right eye, but I woke up and it was like, whoa, what's happened to you? It's like, genuinely, pressure, not from work or anything, but pressure caused capillaries in my eye to pop.
And do you know? I know it's so easy to go. Politicians are corrupt. They're all elite wankers. And
they're all under a lot of pressure, right?
But if you're going to make a decision the next 3 days whether to bomb a country or not, and possibly what's the civilian fallout of that, and the generals are telling, like, say you're John Kerry and you're going to John McCain, sorry, you're going to make a decision whether to bomb Iraq in the next couple of days, and like, what's the civilian fallout? You're going to have your Joint Chief tell you, oh, we're expecting 3,000 civilian casualties. And it all rests on you saying yes or no. Do I kill 3,000 people I've never met? And I don't have an argument with. And you got 12 hours a day or two. That's a lot of fucking stress on your shoulders. Let's just say the eye. Well, let's just pretend they're not real lizards. Let's say they are human beings.
Don't believe that.
That's gonna weigh heavy on your fucking mind, man.
And even celebrities who are not necessarily got a different type of stress,
Mm-hmm.
have got to perform constantly, got to produce something new. Some might go to drugs, some might go to drink.
My new album's coming out. If my new album don't hit £1 billion in sales, I'm fucking done. My career's over. My life's gone.
And there is biology. I know all these guys are saying, well, I fell over, this, that and the other. And Philip said, oh, I just fucking woke up with one.
Yeah, but if you try and went, it's just the stress of being Madonna. What, you can't handle being Madonna, you can't handle the fame. Like what the COVID thing where did she release a video in the back with rose petals where she would talk about being stuck in the house and in lockdown and mental health, and we're all in this together. While she's in a fucking bath with gold-plated taps with rose petals all over, like we're all in this together while you're stuck in your 17-room fucking mansion.
It's like the Queen when she came onto the golden throne at Christmas and went, "Being a tough year for us all." Really?
Mm-hmm.
You seem to be going alright for yourself. But outside of adrenochrome, anyway,
Sorry, I didn't mean to dismiss adrenochrome. I just want to.
That's alright.
I want to say it for a few episodes.
But I will say is that it's before we kind of do. I think we're going to close because we don't have anything else. It's weird in regards to not just a Black Eye Club, but if you talk, if we expand on the ALEuminati and this and the other, it's always one eye. It's always about one eye. Whether it's on an American banknote, hand over an eye. The magazine covers.
Well, I'm going to say there's one more I had in this article. I don't recognise the magazine, but I'll put these pictures up. But this is a British magazine ID. I don't remember it, so I don't know what date this article's from. But the British magazine ID famously adorns each of their covers with facial portrait of someone either covering their right eye or obscuring their left. This bi-monthly magazine is dedicated to fashion, music, art and youth culture. What point they're trying to make, is this just fun fashion and modern youth culture? What about all the other ones covering one eye found in all over entertainment and media? So this article has all the covers from ID magazine, which you can see here. I'll put this on screen now.
Oh, they're either close to the eye or they're covering it, aren't they?
Yeah. And then it's taken snapshots from media, like all different types of media where celebrities are covering one eye.
Yeah, it's weird. There's always something with showing one eye, one's black, one's covered.
The article continues from fashion to art, to music to design, clothing and business. The covering of one eye is infiltrating nearly every niche of market in the world, and the target is always the next generation.
Yeah.
He goes on with even more there. He's put the ALEuminati one in the middle, but you can see like there's just so many of them, and it is. I don't believe in coincidence.
And this
So
is
this
weird.
is too much
There is.
on it. Alright, so, Closet, does thou believe that the Black Eye Club is actually a club? Right? Now, whether that is ritual or initiation, Illuminati, Power Elite, Bilderberg, whatever, do you believe that all these people having black eyes are not coincidental, they're all part of a club?
It's a really good question.
So I suppose, to make it simpler, does thou believe the Black Eye Club exists?
It's not a simple question though, is it?
It's a simple question that leads into a nice closing.
It's not an easy answer, I'll say. So, firstly, I don't believe in the Bible. So it's not the devil, it's not the Dajjal, none of that. And
I was waiting for you to go like, oh well, if they're supporting the Antichrist, like, you don't believe in God, how can you believe in the fucking Antichrist, you dickhead?
No such thing as hell. Adrenochrome, I honestly, whilst I know it can be harvested to an extent, I genuinely don't know if it causes a black eye.
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking putting the needle in your eyeball. No idea. I can honestly say I've got no fucking clue. Soul scalping? Fuck me, that's a leap.
Yeah.
So, firstly, a 6 to 8 inch lizard crawling through an eyeball. I've seen the faculty, right? And I know those little fuckers can be seen. I've never seen anyone go, I found a faculty worm anywhere. What a great movie. Quite frankly, I'm trying to be funny, but soul scalping, it's a sci-fi trope that I've never seen any evidence of.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking there about Parasites. There's a fantastic sci-fi series called Brain Dead. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
On Netflix, is it?
I don't know if it's on Netflix or not. But it's got I can't remember the actor's name, but it's got, do you remember Monk? The detective TV series Monk?
Yes.
It's got the guy from Monk in it.
It's got Peter Jackson, isn't it?
Not the Lord of the Rings director, no.
Because I'm sure he did a fucking zombie movie. I don't know.
No, it's a TV series, and it's this meteorite lands on Earth with ants in it. And the ants come out and climb into people's ears and take over, take over senators and stuff. But instead of having like, you know, like a TV series or like a theme tune or whatever, each episode, the theme tune for each episode is a recap wrote by Jonathan Coulson.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is a fantastic songwriter who's amazing and a fantastic comedic songwriter. But yeah, they have this thing where they don't take over the president. The bugs take over the Secretary of Means or Secretary of Checks and Balances or these little like secondary positions in government because they actually really run government. So yeah, sorry, I just think we're about Stargate and stuff like. Watch Brain Dead. That's.
I will actually. Might even watch Stargate because
I think you should watch Stargate. Stargate, you'll love it.
Well, I've never watched it. I don't know, but soul scalping, really lacking evidence of any kind. And I'm a big believer in aliens and all that sort of thing, but this is a stretch for my imagination.
Yeah.
Which then leads on to Mr. Marshall. Donald Marshall. His story, I can see everything he said, it's a story from somewhere else.
Yeah.
The whole thing. There's nothing original about anything he said.
No, he's not recounting his story, he's just recounting something he's read online and also if he's seen the news and put it to his personal lens.
There's nothing original that I can see from there. Which then brings me to the last couple of things which might hold true. The checks and balances, whether or not the checks and balances have got anything to do with any kind of ritual of any kind, and an Illuminati idea of being tiered and having these black eyes. Now, this is where I'm struggling now. Not necessarily because I have a belief in the Illuminati or the checks and balances, but it just seems there's too many coincidences happening with so many black eyes. Realistically, in comparison to everybody else, Hollywood, I'm not on about UK celebrities here. Because I don't see it across the UK celebrity stratosphere.
We don't really see it in UK. It's more American based.
Yeah.
Is the Black Eye Club? Yeah.
This is very well for celebrity wise, it's American.
Mm-hmm.
Politician wise and Pope and stuff.
You got the Pope and
but
no, there's not many UK politicians. It's very American politicians
Yeah,
and popes.
yeah.
Oh, Vladimir Putin as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah, but mostly it seems to be American centric for the most part. And you could easily have that disguise of makeup to hide it if you don't want it to be seen.
And the positions they're in, they can afford makeup to cover it. And
It's so. My gut is telling me this seems weird, but I've just got a lack of evidence of any kind. This is just internet rumour about what it could mean without any evidence of any kind. So all I can say is, just I believe there's a club. I don't believe there's a club, but I am going to caveat this.
you can't sit on the fence.
No, I'm not sitting on the fence.
Right.
I don't believe there's a club.
Right.
Which is what this is about, right?
Right.
So no, there's no club. But I will say this, not sitting on the fence. Something in me going, this seems a bit coincidental that all of these people, even though they've got their own little stories, there's too many of them to seem like.
That sounds a bit fence sitting. That's like I'm saying no, but I'm putting a caveat on that it might be yes.
No, I'm not saying it's yes. What I'm saying is, it's no. I don't have evidence for a yes. It's a no. I'm just putting out there. Ooh, it's a bit stinky. But the evidence.
So what you say? It's a no, but your toes are touching the fence.
I'm saying I could be persuaded.
Yeah, you're right up. Your nose is against the fence here.
I could be persuaded, and I was not expecting that as an answer, by the way. I could be persuaded with a bit of evidence that actually something more might be happening.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But it's a no. It's a no from me.
That does not believe.
I does not believe.
For me, Donald Marshall is just. I don't know. I keep changing my mind. I keep thinking like I feel sorry for the guy. Like he's had some horrific trauma in his life, and concocted this story as a coping mechanism, and the internet's fed into it, which has stopped him from ever getting therapy or help. So this guy's going to be tortured for the rest of his life by his demons, which I really feel sorry for. Or he's just an egotistical narcissist who's just pulling off every story ever to make himself relevant online and keep relevant. In which case, fuck him. The Vril and all that stuff and the Stargate stuff, I know we talk about like familiarity. I do believe that we have shows like Stargate and X-Files and stuff that shows little grey men. I do believe there's some familiarity going on, like preparation for disclosure in Hollywood.
Yep. Sure.
I do genuinely believe that. Getting people with black eyes to familiarise for the Antichrist coming. Nah, fuck off. Don't believe in the Antichrist at all, so fuck you. The beginning of the show holds problems for me. Because, and I'm going back the same line of thought as you here, that there's no evidence that this Black Eye Club exists.
Correct.
And then once you dive into the evidence, you get all this crazy Donald Marshall, Vril shit, and all that on Stargate.
But if you've been that part of it, yeah.
If we've been that part, instead we'll talk about the beginning, when we stick to the facts. There's a lot of people having a lot of black eyes, which isn't a common injury in adulthood.
I don't think so.
They're
They're not in that sort of realm of. They're not in a sports personalities who fight all the time, or.
Yeah. And similar to you, I don't believe in coincidence. So this is probably the hardest one I've got because it's.
I do believe. I want to say coincidences can happen, but
not on this scale.
yeah,
Not this many
this
people.
is a large coincidence. Yeah. Large
Yeah.
coincidence.
I do believe in elite groups. I mean, we've got proof of Bilderberg, Bohemian Grove. What's the English one? The Bullying Club.
And the thing at Treaty of Rome,
Yeah.
all those things that's happened.
I'm similar to you. Like, I feel like I have to come down on the side of no, but
There might be something to it. That's the thing.
there's too much coincidence.
There might be
I'm not talking about forget the vril, forget the endocrine, forget the all that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Forget the Starfleet, but right,
fucking nonsense.
just this many celebrities. Right? One caveat I'll put in is this a regular? Because most of these people, I don't know.
Mitt Romney happened this year, 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Months ago.
but Kanye and Madonna and stuff like that, Lady Gaga, they're quite young, so
Really?
wouldn't really expect-
Madonna young?
No, sorry, Lady Gaga and Kanye are quite. Well, Kanye's about 50, but what point that makes like that, they're all like 50 below celebrities, right?
Yeah.
So Robert Downey Jr., Lady Gaga, stuff like that, right?
Okay.
Don't really expect those injuries. So maybe if we take them out, and we've got Pope Francis, Pope Benedict, Prince Philip, Mitt Romney, Bernie Sanders, right? They're all nearly octogenarians, like 70, 80.
Yeah, okay.
Is this a common injury? Do you usually get a black eye when you fall at that age?
But you have to fall on your face, right?
Right, no, that's what I'm saying. So can someone just clock you in door? Can a door clock you and you get a black eye, right?
Yeah, you do bruise easier.
You bruise easy in old age, but it doesn't explain Lady Gaga, Kanye West, Robert Downey Jr., Ryan Gosling. So there's something here that stinks, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I wanna come down on. I feel that I have to come down on no, but I want to come down on yes.
There's just a lack of evidence, isn't there? That's the
But
answer.
there's too much coincidence.
But-
And we know things like Bullying Club, Bilderberg Group, Bohemian Group. We know they exist.
But are we, this is the thing that this...
We've been an initiation ceremony or a punishment, whichever one it is.
But are we...
I can see that to me that's a logical thing.
But are we coming down on having the thing that we think that smells a bit because we know those exist? If we didn't know those groups existed, what would we think? So if we didn't know that,
Do you know what I think?
that those groups existed, what would we think?
I think that this is a thing because we live in an age where politicians are snapped constantly, celebrities are photographs and videos constantly. Lady Gaga can't walk outside her house without getting photographed or videoed. Everyone's got a camera in the pocket.
Yeah.
So we get those photos now, whereas 20 years ago, maybe politicians. So let's say the Black Eye Club exists. Let's say it's a real thing. We're only aware of it now because the amount of photos taken every day, the fact that everyone has a camera in the pocket. 20 years ago, we didn't know about it because no one had photos, no one had cameras, we didn't have a paparazzi.
Or we could flip that and say, black eyes are more common than we think, but we didn't know that until we started being able to see photos.
Yeah, until we could everyone take a photo
But it doesn't
anytime,
mean it's a
anywhere.
club.
Doesn't mean there's a club, it's just that there's more photos of it.
Yeah.
So what politicians 20 years ago, well, people 70, 80-year-old, or more people having black eyes years ago, but we're not seeing it. But then that brings me back to the bit that fails me on that is coming back to that if
Second off.
no, it's not in Discord. The thing coming back to that is these celebrities got black eyes. They pay thousands of dollars a week for makeup artists and brand artists. Wouldn't they cover them up?
I'd have thought so.
That's the bit that gets me. This is bit like I think that's the evidence. That might be the evidence that sways me. Yes.
Or wear shades like old school people used to wear.
Yeah. This is the evidence that I think this is the evidence that's going to. I'm not going to change my mind to yes because you've got makeup artists, you've got PR managers.
Oh,
everything's so kev. Like the fact that when a politician goes on the news, doesn't matter what questions being asked, they've got their answers already pre-prepared by their PR team. You won't walk out the door with a black eye.
No. Before you answer yes, let me specifically ask you the question again, because we asked is the Black Eye Club a club? So Are these all these?
So let me ask you the question:
celebrities and politicians, are they part of a club? They've all got black eyes. Are they part of something that we can't see because they've got a black eye? That's the question. Not can
these
cover. Could that celebrity cover it up? Yes, they probably could. But
these
does
are
it mean something?
these are people in positions of power,
Perceived power.
in positions of influence.
Perceived influence.
Whether you perceive it or not, it exists. They might not influence you, but they influence millions of other people in the world.
Okay.
You know, these politicians might not influence you, but they could put laws through. They can, you know, there's reason why like tobacco groups pay politicians in America millions of pounds a year, millions of dollars a year to stop tobacco laws going through and shit. They're in positions of influence and power. So, these people in positions of influence and power, these same people have PR managers, right? These same people have campaign managers, so you can't be seen as, you know, recent election, going about a big debate was, does Biden have dementia? And then he wasn't doing press conferences, and even as a president now, we took him, 56 days or 88 days or something to do his first press conference.
Yeah.
And people going like, why? Because you're hiding him and not letting him speak because he's got dementia. Everything's so micromanaged. These people could easily afford a makeup artist. They have makeup artists, but they're not covering up the black eyes.
But is it a club? Have you got? Forget your gut instinct. Have we got evidence of a club? It doesn't matter. I've got this gut instinct that there might be a club. Show me some evidence that it exists. That's what we've always said.
Well, the evidence is the photos. There's all these people in positions of power that have them, and black eyes aren't a common.
Okay.
They aren't a common injury. And even if there were an injury, if someone like Lady Gaga got a black eye, she'd cover it up. She'd be covered in makeup. She'd wear a fucking Lady Gaga wears fucking mask for fuck's sake. She'd wear them, and she was really wear her fucking hair down here. Wouldn't she fucking do that to cover a black eye up? No, she's. And again, I'm going on gut, I'm going on feeling, but it feels like they're showing that, like they're proud of their black eye, they're showing it off. That's the impression I get.
If we had the conversation half an hour, flip back to the other side. So, we'll go right now, because we have to finish this video at some point. So.
I'm going to come down on yes.
There's a club.
There's a club. There's some.
We don't know what the club is.
I don't know if it's ALEuminati, I don't know if it's Bilderberg or Vril or whatever, but there's. Yeah, I think these people, they've got the people around them that cover their eye up, they wouldn't make some shitty fucking, oh, he fell down the steps excuse, so you get some makeup on and cover it and we'd never know about it. Yeah, fuck it. I'm so on the fence, I come down here, yeah, I'm coming outside of yes, fuck it.
We're not allowed splinters, we've already agreed no
not
splinters.
So it's just, for me, the big thing, I know you're saying like, oh, give me evidence, for me, the evidence is they're not covering it up. It feels like they're showing it off like a badge of honour, like a pride thing. It feels like...
I could debate that with you for the next 5 hours, so we're not going to bother doing that.
We're not going to bother, but yeah, I'm fucking... You know how close I am to...
I don't know.
I could have come down either way, but you fuck it, I'm going, yeah.
You're like this in life every single day, so you know... It's,
and I know I shouldn't... the evidence puts me on the fence. My guts put me on the side of yes. I'm going yes. I'm going with my gut.
Fucking gut.
Fucking gut.
He's got gut rock most of the time as well. So
yeah. I drink homebrew. Of course I do.
He's got stuff.
But yeah, there we are. So that believes, that doesn't.
As I said to you before.
But I think yours is that doesn't believe, but your nose is touching the fence.
I don't believe, but there's a lot of coincidence.
Yeah.
And when there's lots and lots and lots of coincidences, for me it's like there's something to look at.
Yeah.
And so
I think you're not on the fence because we're not last weeks, but your nose is fucking. You're peeking over it. You're looking at the other side, going, "What? Got any evidence over there?"
Have you seen the end of the Lord of the Rings?
Mm-hmm.
Where you got Frodo with the ring about to get to Mount Doom, but then Aragorn turns up with everybody and the big guy looks over there. It's like that. It's like, what's over there? It's like, but there's something happening here that I can't quite see. That might be just about to fuck me. It's kind of like that. It's like I know it's around, but I don't quite know
I
what
think
it is
we're
yet.
both at the same position.
Apart from that, until I've got evidence.
Because we're not allowed splinters with both coming on either side.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump without evidence. Anyway,
that's it done.
my stupid analogy at the end. Yeah.
That's the Black Eye Club. That's it done. So, thank you for watching. Please look in the first comment, the pinned comment below. Find the link to 66 of the most important video games ever.
Steve, you're
According
wrong.
to me, by S.L. Perrin.
It's wrong.
Please go by that. Please support a friend of the show. It's fucking amazing. He's been the biggest fan of the ALEuminati since it started.
I'm only one though, right?
The only one to own. He actually owns one of these glasses.
He does indeed.
The only person in the world to own these. There's only 3 of them in existence.
And if we break ours, we're fucked.
Yeah,
Steve
break
has
ours,
to
we're
put
fucked.
it back.
If we break ours, we'll get a new glass and make Steve's obsolete.
You have to have Mark II like these books.
But no, thank you so much, Steve, for sponsoring the show. We appreciate it so much. Guys, please go check him out. And until next time, I've been Badger. He's been Craig. See there.
Do I say fuck off now? That's
That's the thing.
Fuck off!